job is I shoot people a lot, and then the big numbers happen, and then they die. And well, almost die, and then you see Modi as he shoots them in the head when they're laying there bleeding out.
One time.
I am sorry to ruin this for everyone. You know how I said I was bad at checking whether or not I was muted in Streamlabs?
Sure.
It's for the best this time.
We've been muted. All of us have been muted this whole time. And I think
Well,
that
get to wonder.
I think that's a sign from God.
It's for the best.
That's a sign.
That was divine
you know what?
intervention.
You know what? I'm giving you all a fate point.
It's lost, guys. It's lost. It's not even recording. It's lost.
It's gone.
It's gonna be a good night.
No, I'm giving you all a fate point. I can't. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad tonight, guys.
Rules are we gotta use it on something ridiculous.
In case you guys didn't catch, this is Dark Heresy, Whispers of the Eye. Welcome to the show.
And talking about dicks earns you fate points.
Only when no one hears.
Or the lack thereof.
I think we got Barbossa's introduction. Let's go to Modius.
Right.
Brian B Guns on the Discord channel, and I am playing Modius Skygar, the navigator, and I guess my role in here is just to keep everybody on their toes. Modest, at least at this point.
Brian, what the
and
fuck
you
did
just
you
saw
put
that.
this?
It's been there for a minute. It's been there a minute.
Just yeah, we're muted.
I'm killing
and it's one of
someone
the best.
tonight.
Yeah.
One of you are dying.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Lothos.
Hello, everybody. I also get my spaz pretty much everywhere else. And I'm playing Lothos, the Adaptus Ministorum assassin. It honestly has no fucking clue what's going on at this point. But, you know, we have heretics to deal with, so for the God Emperor.
Phalos.
Sorry, the machine spirits were trying to invade my TV. Some jackwagon's trying to connect its phone. And I had to shut that down. Okay, right. My name's Joe. I'm Microcosmic God in the Discord if you want to come say hi. I am playing Phalos, machine priest with 1 1/2 hands. Just doing best to follow will of machine god and serve the Emperor and his Inquisition, and wondering why nobody wants to fucking kill Beryl. He's deserving death.
He was just defending himself, man.
He was not I had already stopped.
He was doing you a favor, honestly. Getting you
Get a
ready
new metal, fancy metal hand.
He did not. He did not even remove hand.
He's
Almost.
giving you he's giving you an excuse to remove it, though.
I did not need it.
He hit you in the chest as well, didn't he? Or was
I
it just
do
the
not
hand?
remember.
No, it was just a hand.
Just the hand? Okay.
I'm honestly surprised it didn't fucking.
He just critted on that one hit, and like if anybody else
That-
had gotten
that-
hit, it'd been like,
If you guys are watching, go ahead and check out that last bit of the last episode of the
yeah.
astronomical bullshit rolls that happened.
Yeah, just
Mathematically
the sheer
impossible.
Defying God statistics.
yeah, like human evolution is statistically more likely.
Natural ones, natural hundreds.
So go
Wow.
watch
It's
a
on the
fate
attacks.
point suck me harder than anything it has in this so far.
Fuck. That's us, guys.
Woo!
Yeah.
Strap in.
This is Whispers of the Eye. Let's go over what our warband has been up to. They landed on the planet of Icarus, a quarantined death world, not really fighting, burning their way through a deep forest, finding strange descendants of the Imperial civilians who once lived here, discovering a creature, a man, a being, disturbingly similar to a space marine, proclaiming himself the immortal God King. And then tales of a wizard, probably the tech priest, they're here to find. But when last we left our warband, they had descended into what the inhabitants called Old Town, a sunken imperial city. Along with their remaining paladins of Dimerius, Friedrich and Wilhelm, they made their way down, saw a few ghosts, and came across a beautiful patch of flowers, and then proceeded to go utterly insane as the poisonous spores caused them to turn on one another. No one of importance was wounded or killed.
Wounded?
Wounded severely. You didn't
No
even
one
get
of importance almost lost a hand.
You didn't even get critical damage, Mr. 13 wounds.
Straight up did get critical damage.
You know, I guess who's considered important at this point, Phalos?
I mean, apparently Beryl.
No longer on the totem pole at the bottom, yes.
Don't worry, you're gonna bleed from the eyes in a minute. You'll be back.
Any day now. Yeah, any day.
I have extended the Exterminatus circle.
Can we just
Just wanna okay.
Can we just make it global?
I thought we were
Pretty
talking
soon.
about the like you guys wanted to save the civilians, but I mean,
You know what? Like
More and more less interested in
Like
that.
they're all mutants. They're all mutants at this point.
a lot of them
Maybe
are.
we just take the few that
Some
are
of
like
them are
okay
witches.
off the planet and then burn the rest of it.
Yeah, we got witches,
There
we
we
got
go.
mutants, we got heritage. It just fucking just.
Now I
The
believe
opposite of every bad
that
tech
the
scene.
ex-
Instead of enhance, we're
the
just saying
ex-
zoom out.
the Exterminatus circle has now encompassed its proper target. You can discuss options if you return to the constant vigil.
Can we get another circle around the palace and get
Another one?
exterminatus?
Yeah.
Extra
hold on.
exterminatus.
like
Double tap.
Yeah, hold
you know,
up.
like double exterminatus or something like that.
Terminatus Plus, hardcore.
Try hard.
1 sec. 1 sec.
Fuck all that, but fuck
1
them
second.
specifically.
There we go.
Right to go. Nice.
Like everything gets like, you know, just bombarded, and that area gets glassed.
Like a orbital cannon, just for that spot. Like everywhere else you can nuke, that spot, orbital cannon. There's
Can we
orbital
put
cannon
an orbital
relay
cannon
things.
on the front of a nuke,
An
so it
orbital-
just fires the entire way down to the surface.
Throws its
Oh,
way into the
fuck.
core
I
of the
was gonna
planet.
say,
That's probably how Exterminatus works to be. Like,
Armageddon style, man.
a
Bury it in
great
there
I'd
and that's
say
it.
I'll work on inventing that, but
Night
that would be
assault.
heresy.
There we go. How's that for you guys?
Yeah, that works perfectly.
Nice.
Man, if we got something.
Green
from the
Knight
Grey
Assault
Knights-
Torpedo.
Perfect.
We'll do that one first, and then the Exterminatus.
Yeah, okay, that's a great idea.
Then maybe that one again.
And then, okay. No, cool, yeah.
Triple tap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Alright.
we're heading towards like a tower or something, right?
Yeah.
There was ghosts.
Eventually, you guys contained yourselves heading towards what you assume to be the obsidian gate that you could see the very tip of in the distance. On your travels, you came across another vision of what you assume to be a ghost, who came in the visage of what looks to be an imperial officer. His overcoat and bearing seeming of a different time but the same place. Sometimes you could hear him snippets of generators and pylons in the fields. And he seems to be heading in the same direction you guys are. But anything else you are unsure of. And so it is the four of you, Stock, Barrel, and Chambers. Since it is a new session, your guys' fate points have regenerated.
Question.
Yes.
I had recognized the tower as similar to the protective bubble in the main capital. That was the Obsidian Gate, or is there a second tower that mirrored the one in the capital?
The Obsidian Gate, from what you assume it is, and from what Wilhelm and Friedrich pointed out before you murdered that one of them, executed. I'm sorry, it's not murder, it's execution. It's deserved. They seem to point that out as the Obsidian Gate, because the pylon in Renathia has been built upon it. Most of it's hidden. This one seems bare of any additional construction around it.
Does it look like something that you could still access, like go into, or does it look like the equivalent of like
It looks like this.
a telephone tower or something like that?
Ooh, nice.
I hear
Anyone else
boobies.
start hearing the immigrant song in their head, or is that just me?
Man, I wish you could still do that on Roll20. Used to be able to get anything on here.
We'll just put clips in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how often it would be required, but I intend to, for as long as possible, keep the
Cool.
the cloud active.
Yeah, that will be extremely helpful. As you concentrate your witch eye, the Immaterium coalesces around you, creating a sort of thin bubble against the warp.
Wait, he's got a witch eye?
I heard
That's
Yeah,
a-
let's not call it that.
Yeah, it's
Image
another
to
name.
oppose here.
It's another name for his third eye. It's slang for his third eye, basically. We call it a witch eye. It's
he
what
hasn't gone completely against
it's
us.
what
We're
it's
just
what a
gonna
lot
remove
of
that
Space Marines refer to it as. Because Space Marines don't like astropaths.
eye. Pop
I like
that
these
stuff
Space
out.
Marine blokes more and more all the time.
They're pretty cool. But
Yeah, making our way to
Barbosa
this
wants to be
tower.
one when he grows up.
it's
You're
possible.
already Batman. What do you need to be?
Space Marine Batman.
Fuck.
He could have a jetpack. He could be Iron Man.
Wait. I'm just imagining Space Marine with a grappling hook now. It's just a fucking wrecking ball at that point.
Yeah, they got jetpacks. They don't even need
Yeah.
grappling hooks. They're just like,
Yeah, I upgrade from bat-themed billionaire vigilante to
rich religious asshole.
I become like evangelical Iron Man.
Stupid. This being seen through these, the area around these is not the area in the picture. It is the heavily forested area that you guys see back over here. So you guys can only see the very tips of those, and they are not powered like they are in that picture. But you recognize the structure
the-
from the pylon in Renathia.
Travels. Just I would keep an eye out for anything else powered because I've seen evidence that power's still here on some level.
Yeah, give me a perception check plus 20. Because as I said before, it
Oh,
is
right,
extremely
that's just a
quiet
characteristic.
here.
My brain is so used to that being a
Yeah.
skill. It's like, do I have a tick mark? Not relevant. Okay. If I can get things to cooperate. Boom. Nailed it. 51 was the target.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, as you guys are strolling through, and you guys are basically making your way up this channel formed by this river that will sort of arc through towards this direction, which is where the tower is. So you have to pass through the main of the city, this river through here, basically creating a stable road. It was probably once an actual road, and since the city has sunken down, it has just withheld the structure as all the, years of life basically fell apart and rose around it.
Looking at I guess I'm just I guess mechanic not going to be super relevant until we get there. But I'll just be testing out my hand, making sure I can move all the fingers. Just this on this walk, it just occurred to me I was like, I would be concerned about that. I can't replace it right now, so it has to be functional.
Just find you an Archaeotech arm. Just do that.
And as a bonus, it'll prevent recoil.
Give me
Then I kill you and I take your arm.
How could you kill me? Your shots will all have recoil.
a sleight of hand check. -10.
Something like
If
a
the
minus-
10 pops. Critical fail.
Oh god, if he
Okay,
rolls at
well,
100.
There's just a crunch.
Just falls off.
The hand just falls off, just plops to the ground.
Geyser.
We start with a 34. We subtract 20 because I have no points in it, and
Uh-huh.
then we subtract 20. So there is one number
Okay.
that I did not roll.
That's
Oh.
not the number you were looking for. Would you like to try again or use a fate point?
No.
I will not burn a fate point on a
Okay.
1 in 100 chance. It seems silly.
So you try to
That is a lot of
manipulate
degrees, though.
and try to sort of find dexterous movements of your fingers. They respond. It's very slow and jerky and hard to manipulate because it's extremely painful as well. No doubt some of your cybernetic implants or brain implants are numbing the sensation and merely alerting you to it, but the hand is damaged and does need actual medical attention eventually. It's fine for now. It's usable, but if you're shooting with that hand, it's going to be at a -20.
Which hand was it?
Left
He's a-
hand.
Yeah.
Left? Oh, that's better than right hand.
Well, all of my guns take 2 hands, so it's not super relevant.
Is
Sucks
it
either way.
really important?
Don't open up those stitches. I don't want you to start bleeding out on me.
I guess I could use the whatever, the hand cannon, and just brace it on a forearm. See how that goes.
Hey, if you can finagle it, I'll think about it. Yeah, so Chambers, Stock, and Barrel are in front of you guys as well. Chambers, I think he said he had how much fuel left?
Half.
Yeah,
The tanks
half.
are at half.
Yeah,
Hefty.
Which I think is 3 shots.
3 shots.
What is he didn't have anything besides that, right?
He has a knife.
He's got a knife and 2 grenades.
Oh, well, the grenade was effective last time.
Yeah.
Very.
But he doesn't have any other weapons besides that. No, the flamer
I could
is
probably
just
give him
too
a
bulky.
pistol.
One of my 12 guns. I could give.
I could maybe spare him.
You could hypothetically find Prometheum tanks in the city somewhere, but you'd have to take the time to look around.
Yeah, I mean, like
Basic-
we could take time to look around the city for a little bit of anything at this point. But are we going to focus on trying to get through and out of here?
Oh, yeah,
Or
do we-
Did I see power or not? With that 50.
Oh, yeah, the 51. Yes, so as you guys are trekking through the city, you notice a few sources of power. Every now and then you'll come across a patch of the ground that hasn't completely eroded or turned to dust or been reclaimed. It's sticking out, and you'll see blinkings of street lights or the eternal sort of shine of one of the sort of electrical pulse or zap of a frayed wire. Certain remaining, the very, very few that there are, sort of storefront signs in these shells that will wink and explode sometimes with the power surges going through them. It seems that the source of... Actually, give me a tech use roll. No. There's a skill for this. Logic. Give me a logic roll plus 30. Because you're a tech priest.
Okay.
But
That's a good
electricity
enough
is
odds.
magic.
That is... My target was 91.
Oh, well. I mean,
My
if it's
target was
only
90.
if it's only 3 degrees of success, I mean, fine. Yeah. So it's very clear that whatever power input is providing this energy, it's fluctuating, which is either A, due to the fucking forest that has grown in the middle of the city and the sinking of the city. B, the power reactor or core or whatever the power is being generated from is damaged. Or C, shit's just fucked. But you're leaning more towards A or B.
Of these storefronts that we're walking by, do any of them, like, look, are any of them recognizable as what they were?
Kind of.
Recoil Glove Emporium, Prometheum Tanks R Us.
Yeah, I'd basically
I
be
sell
looking
propane and propane accessories.
I would just be wanting to look around and see if there's anything that's like,
We ain't got no Prometheum on acres, but propane works fine for me.
hey, it's burnable.
Not
Well, yeah,
the same.
just no. But if you add some styrofoam to it now,
You're looking there. No, there's not.
I would just be like trying to see if there's any of them that look like they like are mostly intact that I could like poke my head into?
No,
Like
not
something
really in this area. As you get deeper into the city, as this part of the city sank around the edges, seems to have suffered the most damage and erosion over time. Either from the collapse or just from the millennia of erosion and natural change. The middle of the city, the taller, more complete spires and buildings are fairly intact. Some of them have toppled over and are braced against each other. If there was an earthquake, this whole city would probably come tumbling down.
Are we still seeing any of the poisonous flowers that we encountered earlier?
Yes. Along this thoroughfare, around this channel of water, basically, that you're following up, they grow in abundance.
Fascinating.
But curious.
But no one's ever been this deep into the city before, at least from the Paladin's point of view, so...
Wonder if we have anything we can contain those with. Bring them back.
I got a bag and a floating skull that yells a lot.
You could attach them to the floating skull, and then have the skull go and fly into your enemies, spreading the spores around, causing mayhem amongst
Is
your
that heresy, though? If it's not heresy, then I'm probably doing it eventually.
It's not heresy.
Okay, good. Potential plan for later.
It's just using what's among us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be welcome to collect them. Containing the spores
Yeah.
would be the biggest
That's what I'm worried about. I
concern.
don't think I'd have anything that's airtight, I guess.
Are there plastic bags in the 41st millennium?
Actually, okay.
They don't actually have plastics anymore. They use pseudoplastics.
Because we used up all the oil.
Well, because Earth's a barren wasteland. And
Because
plastic...
we used up all the oil.
Yeah.
Does that mean there are pseudo-plastic
We're
bags?
past oil. We go through space hell. Using
use hell oil.
anything.
Using anything. Mostly
Souls.
sacrificing
Anything
people.
burnable.
No.
Anything we can throw into this like it's a
Wait, are you
fucking
telling me that
train.
there's spaceships that are fueled by wood? Like fucking.
Some of them.
Some of them.
If that's all they have to throw in their fucking reactor.
The Inquisition.
They'll throw
Witches
corpses.
are made of wood.
Like, yeah, like if a ship gets stranded, they'll throw corpses in there and stuff just to get it fucking firing again.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have anything to put those in. But yeah.
Put them in yourself.
Just start eating them like.
You should definitely do that.
No.
Become like a permanent. You literally become the Hulk.
The setting is a little too serious, but I want there to be a ship fueled only by corpses called the Soul Train. Moving on.
That's probably
Just to double
that's
check.
that's probably a thing. It's probably a thing.
It sounds so 40k. that,
The
like-
Soul Train. You guys can.
If we're gonna
name-
be,
You guys can name your ship that. How's that?
I like
Can we
it.
get a
Only if we fuel it solely on corpses. That's-
Who
that's
who
my rule.
knows? You're Inquisitors. The
We
wor-
could
the
be.
universe
Do
is
what I
your
want.
oyster of heresy.
So along with that, the spire up ahead of us. How clear in sight is it?
Not very. It is still
Not
some
very,
distance
okay.
off, some kilometers.
Can't really take a look at it through a scope and like. Get
No,
everything
and with the
made.
heavy vegetation, it's a clear view along this channel just because of the channel. There's no vegetation growing in the river, so everywhere else you wouldn't be able to see the sky. The vegetation is so thick.
Okay then.
I don't know if there would be a clear line of demarcation from inside the bubble that kept this capital safe and outside the bubble. But just curious, as we've gone farther since the last time I've checked,
Mhm.
is our equipment still, fakaked, or is it just in need of recharging?
Which piece of equipment would you like to inspect?
Would check my data slate just 'cause it's the one in my pocket.
Your data slate? Give me a tech use roll. Plus 20.
One of these buttons tells me where I need to go. There it is. Okay. That is
I'm gonna assume you make
Target
that.
91. Yeah, it's a lot.
I need it to be a 200.
Yeah. The power cell is fried. The battery, the capacitor, whatever it is that keeps power in this is fried. You quickly just take out this data slate and with a few flips of your mechadendrites, just pop open the back and give it a sort of inspection as you guys are walking along. And it's completely burnt out. But only that component is burnt out.
Okay.
That's not exactly something we expect to find more of
No.
around these parts. Huh?
Yeah. So the
Raises
whole
questions
machine
about
isn't
spares.
fucked. It seems like there has been some sort of, with your 5 fucking degrees of success. It seems to have been overloaded. The capacitor or battery has overloaded essentially, and fried that. So everything else within the data slate is either salvageable or functionable. You could rewire with a little bit of soldering and stuff like that, like shit you have on you. You could fucking pull some wire out of a pocket. I don't know. You could fix all that. It's just this battery bit that's fucked.
Would we presume that's the case with a lot of the other electrical?
You could start taking shit apart.
I mean,
Barbosa
just to
doesn't even
confirm
notice
my-
anything's wrong.
Well, he would.
You and your bullets.
Your,
Bullets are
your photo lenses wouldn't work.
Oh no!
Because they're just
My
goggles,
eyes!
aren't they?
My God! Yeah, they're just goggles.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Those would be fried. I know we didn't bring that up in,
I was gonna say, well,
what's it called,
luckily-
Land, but...
Yeah,
luckily they lasted long enough to save Chambers, so.
Yeah, they worked. They worked.
You know
for
what?
Chambers
That's
and
fine.
they worked-
Then they work. Because some of your equipment does still work. The servo skull works. The Space Marine had a las gun that worked.
It would be true heresy. If
He
that
was
thing
also
failed.
some distance away, though, so he may not have come into contact with the field.
Is my scanner not working?
You can take it apart. Give it a check.
I'm not. I'll give it to Velos
Straight
if I'm
about
doing
best-
anything with that shit.
About Mondias, you are having fried equipment as well, yes?
Yes.
I'm trying to see if this is uniform across machines. Only power supply is severely damaged. May I inspect?
Of course, and I'll hand the scanner right over.
And Auspex is a pretty... It's not, like, huge, but it's a weighty thing.
Yeah.
You guys would have to stop for a little bit, which
Maybe
is
I
fine.
should hold it so that your bad hand doesn't fall off.
Maybe I should be looking at Laswick.
To take this thing apart, you guys would have to stop and, like, fuck around with it a little more than a data slate. As you say that...
Are you wondering which one of the
Yeah.
guys had the? It was Lieutenant Daniels.
Oh, Lieutenant Daniels had the last pistol.
Didn't Modeus? Isn't the Saint Bay?
You guys also have the
Same
holdout.
you
Yeah,
want-
there's the whole.
I have a las gun.
No, it's now changed. It's called Tiny Mike.
I have St. Bay. I mean,
I don't understand that one.
Oh, don't worry. One day it will do the same thing the Saint Mike will do.
Well.
So yeah, if I can look at your
It will
last
one day blow
I got nothing.
a whole group of heretics up.
Oh, okay.
One day. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You take the las gun apart. It breaks apart fairly easily into large sort of sections, and the las gun's fine. And then you take a look at the charge pack, and the charge pack is what's fried.
all of them. I
Yeah.
think I had like 5 of them total.
Yeah, they are all
Shit.
drained. They're fried. They look like they've been cooked a little bit, maybe.
So I can't even plan to try and recharge them.
No,
They're just fucking
they've
toast, huh?
essentially the same thing has happened to them that has happened to the
Yeah.
capacitor or the battery or whatever. They have just overcharged to a point. You're lucky they didn't explode, honestly.
Good that they didn't then. I'm going to dispose of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're useless. I mean, you could toss them.
Yeah.
There's no salvaging them.
Well, at least my whip
Your whip's
still holds
fine.
charge.
Hmm.
Whip probably uses like kinetic motion to generate shards or something
The
like
whip,
that.
the servo skull, certain things have been unaffected. Whether or not the capacitor type is, again, with 5 degrees of success from that tech use roll. Either the type of power source that it utilizes is unaffected or unresponsive to whatever happened, or in some way it has been negated, but you're unsure. Perhaps the machine spirits are just stronger in these machines. Who knows?
Not that I particularly feel like I desperately need my data slate at the moment, but, you know, is plugging it in, just using wires?
Like
40K
your
thing?
internal power?
Well, not necessarily mine, but in these powered stretches of city.
Oh,
Like
you
where
wanna
you use-
link in to the fucking power that's still running through? Okay. Yeah,
Just to see if the data slate would run while connected.
yeah, you could try that. Give me a tech use check -10.
Okay. 61 was the target.
Well, yeah. So as you guys sort of take a quick break, anyway, you've been walking for probably about an hour. That being said, it's been about an hour. You are susceptible to the spores again should you remove your respirators.
That worked out so well last time. We should all do that.
I mean, just in case you wanted to mix things up, you know.
Think I have any intent on taking it off after what happened last time. But they smell so good.
Man, you know, some fresh air sounds wonderful. Just
Before putzing around, I'm going to keep an eye out for something that might look like it could be airtight.
Yeah, you're just taking a quick break. You're not gonna find anything that's airtight.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in this area. Give me a logic check, +10. I really love this skill, logic.
No bueno.
Looking around, it's amazing that anything has survived this long. You just feel like it's probably impossible you're going to find anything useful in this city. Like these buildings are shells, they're crumbling, like it's
Checks out.
it's just
Yeah.
been too long. Yeah, and you guys are taking just a quick stop, taking a breather, drinking some water. I don't fucking know. Phalos, you meander over to where you find a flickering street light on the side of the road and these large sort of creep barriers, and you'll sort of pick away at the wall with your mechadendrites, exposing a coil from power. And with a little fiddling around and just a little bit of heresy, not too much, just a sprinkle, just a sprinkle, you rewire the power source into your data slate. And after a few tense seconds, it blinks to life.
I was waiting for it to explode, but this is good. Well, I'm only going to be able to use this while standing in this spot.
Yep.
Didn't you bring your Voxcaster?
That was my next thought.
Yeah, you could hypothetically do the same thing. Whether or not the enough power going through this line is enough to adequately power the Voxcaster is another question, but it's tryable.
What's the range on a Voxcaster? Could it theoretically reach like the ship?
No, not the ship.
it's 100 kilometers.
Oh, could get in touch with the Space Marine dude. And the
Yeah,
rest
you'd
of
be
the...
able to try and contact Bjorn and Lieutenant Daniels, yeah. Hypothetically, if they have made it to the communications array.
Hypothetically.
But
Would you be able to access like a Voxbeat channel using the Voxcaster? Would it be able
if
to
you
like
knew the
project-
correct frequency, which you would, for your guys' channel at least.
maybe Lieutenant Daniels? He'd
Yeah,
be on the same
he's
channel.
on
as
your
us.
guys' Vox channel, yeah. So if you guys knew the frequency, you would hypothetically be able to tune into it. Whether or not you would be able to transmit is debatable. Especially given that your Voxcaster is an older model. It's not, like, very nice. It's workable, but just so. But they couldn't be too far away.
I mean, definitely not 100 kilometers.
Yeah. So you'd at least be able to hear them if they're trying to transmit to you. And you would also be able to, like, scan and see if you could pick up them trying to communicate through the communication station, which supposedly exists on the coordinates that you know.
And then the Auspex is just going to give us movement, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Okay.
It gives you a few things, but basically it's like a motion detector.
Okay. So I don't know if we could pulse that and get a rough idea of the surroundings in any useful capacity.
No. You would need some fairly advanced gear to get, like, an echo map of the area and, like, geography and stuff like that. Or an aerial surveillance or something like that.
Since I've got it booted up, I will upload all of the photo and video evidence of heresy I've been collecting this whole time, just to make sure it's safe.
Just to free up some space on your drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta use that external hard drive. And then just, I guess bring it up. I'll disconnect my thing because that's not super pertinent at the moment. Checking with power supply, it is usable enough to power data slate. It's possible I could hook up Voxcaster, though I do not know limitations on functionality. We may be able to listen in or possibly contact.
That could be interesting, but that brings up the question: would the Biologos be able to know we're here if we use that?
It's a fair question. I assume he is knowing we are on way because Spy has been eliminated, but would let him know how close we are.
It's only been a couple hours since
Really?
Luring was
It's only been a couple hours. He is going to figure out that we are on way, is what I was saying.
He's
Right, but what if we can hear what he's saying to somebody else?
Well, I am not knowing what,
I mean, there's no technology here, right? So he wouldn't even be thinking about trying to keep anything
I
encrypted.
suppose it would be a limited number of channels active.
That would make sense, but he does know the Inquisition is here, just from the Spy, I would assume. Just considering.
Right, but we don't know if the Spy knows. Gave me. We don't even know if he reported.
We don't, but that's the thing. It's a big.
Oh, Bjorn said he
Well,
saw
I'll say-
it reporting several times, did he not?
Bjorn did say he saw Luring sneak off during his shift.
So
several
that would
times.
incline that last night he at least informed of us.
Right, well then I say we plug it in. See what we can see. Do it, Metal Man!
What are the chances anyone could
Like triangulate our
Pick you
position.
up?
pose? Oh, I would say pose as the traitor and actually speak with the Biologos.
Well, I'm pretty good at impressions.
You want to impersonate Luring.
Was Luring the French guy or was he the German?
Luring was the
German.
Australian.
Was he an Australian?
Yes, Friedrich
Good
was
eye,
the
mate.
German.
I
and
could do
then
it all day.
Wilhelm was the Russian.
All day.
Boy.
Crikey!
Right.
See that
Crikey!
space marine up there?
Crikey, there's a space marine on his way.
Having a conversation with our target that's all hoping he gives information with the only responses being, right,
It would be.
crikey, that's not a knife.
It would be.
He
This
doesn't
is a
catch on.
knife.
It would be a deceive check. I would have to give you a plus 10 because it wouldn't be face to face and it's through a Voxcaster. but
I could at
And
best
then my
shoot for
natural
like a
accent
35.
is pretty close, so.
the target. Go for
Actually,
it. If
plus-
you guys
I
feel
actually
like
have plus
doing this, go for it.
The plus, if you have 2 checks, that's plus 10 or plus 20?
Plus
That's
10.
plus 10.
So it'd be plus 10, plus 10.
And then whatever your fellowship is, unless you can justify using intelligence to deceive.
No, I would want. I mean, honestly, it's 3 points different.
Those 3 points make the difference.
Let me see. I
Trust
mean,
me.
I'm doing like a plot. It's not like I'm trying to charm somebody or be like, hey man, you know, I'm trying to be like,
Now, if I
crikey.
do hook this thing up to listen, it's not going to be. It's going to be like if I was tuning into a radio. No one's going to know.
Well, at that point, are you
necessarily
using
I'm listening,
our Voxcaster or are you using the handheld?
right? That is not being
Voxcaster?
turned on again. How dare you?
I'm just.
Maybe you're the witch.
Well, we.
Asmodeus over here.
Excuse me.
I'm just making my notches all the way up to the top, baby.
Excuse me, guys. I need to go fucking blow the head off the tech priest real fast.
I'd say
Barrel will help
That's
ya.
one of the few things I can't just replace.
Barrel will just be like, "Yes, my lord." Grab the chainsaw. As he says, sorry.
It's already whizzing.
Just chucks it at you.
I got stock and barrel on my side.
That's okay. The odds
It
are going
was-
to be ridiculously stacked in my favor this time.
So you guys do not.
It was just a
I'll-
thought.
I'll
Maybe
say-
Barbosa's all for scanning the channels
Yeah.
and seeing what can be heard.
I'll
That
say-
I'm fine with using our Vox.
I'll say if you guys hook up your Voxcaster and try to scan the net, I'll just tell you right, you're probably not going to find anything. Like the chances of you tuning into the one signal on all those frequencies without a reference point, almost impossible. And that's only if he's actively broadcasting that you would hear anything.
What about trying to contact the Bjorn
Bjorn, you could try and tune in.
or Captain Daniels or
Yeah,
Lieutenant Dan?
so they're microbead channels. You could try and tune into those to maybe hear if they're trying to broadcast, but you would not know if you'd be able to transmit to them, just because of the range on their microbeads and science.
How long since we split up?
A couple hours.
So, really no need to talk to him.
No,
Other
you
than,
guys-
hey, don't breathe into flower dust.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
guys woke up, went through the swamp, killed some old guardsmen, met Bjorn, and parted. And that was right after you woke up. You'd only been you'd seen the swamps in the distance from when you camped, so you weren't very far from them in the first place. So I'd say right now, in the day-night cycle of this planet, it's like 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's no reason to do all that. So yeah, might as well just keep walking forward.
And-
But at least we know that's a possibility for if we need to do it later on or something.
Yeah,
like that.
you assume
Yeah.
that you would probably be able to at least tune into their frequency and hear if they are broadcasting. Which they might. Who knows? And then there's also the communications tower, which they might tune into your guys' frequency as well. If they get it working.
If they make it there.
If they
Well, there's
if
got
they-
a space marine with him,
He's not really a full space marine yet.
but he's still stronger than us, right?
Yeah.
They got a space pup. They got this.
They're fine.
Try fine.
They got themselves a space dingo.
Space tango.
Crikey, that space dingo ate my baby.
That's one of the offshoot chapters of the Space Wolves. One of the successor
dingoes.
chapters.
The Space Wolves are one of the few that have no like successor chapters. or
Yeah,
whatever,
because
right?
all their successor chapters fucking die or go insane.
Space tangos.
The Wolf
Them
Brothers,
dingoes ate all the babies.
the Space Wolves ate all the babies.
It's canon now. Space tangos.
The long lost southern companion to.
That could be our ship name too.
Space Dingo. What's a dingo? I don't know. I heard this heretic use the word once and it sounded cool.
Sounded
Just
bad.
got
Thought
crikey
he meant
sprawled
that we were
along
gonna
the
call it,
side.
That's not a knife.
Just like an
Technically
alligator.
accurate if we call it that's not a knife.
That's
This
not
is a
nice.
knife. You have 2 ships. You just get 2 small ships. One smaller than the other.
One's like for
One
range,
that's
the other's
like
for
an attack
ramming.
ship that's docked inside that will send out for space battles. That's the knife.
Love it.
This is so fucking stupid.
Hey, at least the first conversation doesn't exist.
That's
It
true.
does in my heart.
That's true.
God.
God
And
had nothing to do with that
the
conversation.
Emperor protected us. I'll make your stupid Aquila flying voice. We gotta get on track, boys. Okay.
Okay.
Right, so do we see any more
We're on the
ghosts?
track, so there's big old space pylon. Also, I'm gonna keep an eye out for golems, as they've been called this whole time, because she's got minions, so I've
Oh
been told.
yeah, golems.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay. Give me an awareness check.
I would love to.
-10.
I would love it a little bit less.
I was gonna
but
say, can I help with
still
that?
do.
Yes, you could help with that. So,
So they
flat.
That 10 back.
Yeah, it'll be flat from my end.
Cool.
That I
Surprising.
don't
My
think
goal was
is
11.
the number. Yeah, I was about to say I don't think that's the number you're looking for.
What's sad is earlier that still would have been a success on some of those intelligence rolls.
It looks clear.
Uh-oh. That means it's definitely not clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
Greece
time
doesn't
you
come
want to
in
look
order.
around for things, ask the one with the extra eye.
Is there anywhere that I could grapple up to kind of get a survey of the area?
Go to the top of that tall building
As-
over there.
You guys walk through the forest. The overbearing heat in the trees
Oh, yeah,
washing over you. Phalos, as you and Modius look around for golems. Barbosa, as you ready your grappling hook. Lothos, as you contemplate letting your servo skull free to lift the spirits of your companions. We're gonna take a break. Hope you guys are watching. I hope you guys are having fun. We're having fun.
Sure.
We're gonna
This
be
is the bullshit session, right?
This is this is the bulls. I thought we were gonna get shit done tonight, but nah.
Post break, we accomplished something.
Post break, we achieve an objective.
We're gonna get that red wizard.
Post break,
I
we
feel
make
it.
it. We make it to the end of the block. Post break.
Yeah, right.
You guys aren't even in the city proper yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
have,
God.
have we even moved away from the fucking
We've-
scene?
I assume we're walking and
You
talking.
guys have
here.
been walking. You guys have been walking for
10
about an
feet from
hour.
that dead body.
No, I would assume like where we saw like the ghost guy, we haven't actually moved. We've just been standing there in a circle.
He'll come back
Froggy.
any minute. Dingoes.
Guys.
We'll be back.
We're gonna go on break, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Dark Heresy Whispers of the Eye. My name is Dylan. I am the Game Master for this session. I am joined by Phalos, Lothos, Modius, and Barbosa. Our warband, COVID, was advancing through the city, having just broken through into the city proper, when they see, amongst them, the ghostly image of this Imperial officer once more. And he's running now. His coat is unbuttoned, and he has what looks to be some sort of pistol or weapon in one hand. And he's still going the same direction. It looks like as though he's trying to, like, drag someone along with him and firing over his shoulder.
Does it look like this is like a continuation of the same day in his life or whatever? Or does this look like we're getting, like, does he look older? Does he look the same? Or is his clothes the same? Does he have something he didn't have before?
He looks the same. He looks more... He obviously it doesn't have the same sort of calm business demeanor that this visage has had before. But he doesn't look like much time has passed between these.
But it doesn't look like it's the same amount of time for us. It looks like it's kind of like, it's not like...
It's not like he's not along the same sort of linear
lockstep
timeline
or whatever.
as
Right.
you are.
Yeah. So we're getting like jumping around in his timeline.
Yeah,
whatever,
this would be Forbidden Lore Warp. I will say, so this is something we're going to implement when we sort of finish this arc. It's sort of something known as common ground knowledge. It's shit you guys would know. And that doesn't always include lores, but for Forbidden Lore Warp, I would say Modius, Lothos, and all of you would kind of know how the warp works, actually. You all would have some sort of base level knowledge of how the warp works and its effects. Modius, you would have a much better grasp of this. So, Modius, I would say that it's like things like these, like anomalies and visions and things like that, it's entirely possible on a planet that has been engulfed by warp storms to see these sorts of illusions. And whether they're real or fictitious or the past or the future or what, it's impossible to say. So you can take from them whatever you want. Some people could interpret them as visions from the Emperor, or a glimpse into the past, or actual ghosts replaying the moments of their deaths, or who knows. Beliefs and superstitions are varied and numerous throughout the Imperium, so you guys can perceive this however your characters would really sort of perceive this.
Not quite sure what to make of it, though. Just almost as if it's a couple of pages from a book. From different chapters, even.
Right.
But
I tried to grab him last session, like touch him.
yeah, he passed right through him.
Okay.
There's no mass.
Does he feel cold or anything like that? Did I get like a chill when I
It's
touched him?
hard to say through your guys' armor and gear. I mean, you could try look, if your Auspex was working, you could try and get a heat read off of him. But he's three-dimensional. It's not like, you know, the page of a book playing out in front of you. It's a...
And he's not see-through, right? He looks like he's like
solid.
there.
He looks like he's actually there. Like, it looks like you could reach out and, like, wipe away a, you know, drop of sweat from his cheek.
And we can't see what he's shooting at or anything moving forward. It's just this image.
Just him.
Just him. Just this guy.
He seems to
Can
be
like
just
can we
him.
follow him? Like, is he going somewhere?
He blinks out of existence after a few seconds. He seems to be following roughly the same path you guys are following. You have heard him speak a few times. He was discussing pylons, fields, activation, storms, stuff like that. This time he has basically been shouting orders, yelling at someone to move up, you know, war cries as he's firing what looks to be a very ornate ballistic weapon of some sort.
He said something about storms converging.
Yes.
For the record, how's the weather now?
The weather is bright, sunny, foggy, and hot.
Hot, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have that sort of fog cloud that permeates the mid-range of a lot of these buildings. That is opaque, basically. You couldn't see down into the valley from the ridgeline around, just because of the extreme temperature difference.
What do you make of what he said about activating pylons?
Right, what's a pylon?
Didn't you mention?
Okay, I even know.
I would assume it's the same thing the Velos you spoke about back in the city.
You're heading to Pylon. They have labeled it Obsidian Gate. It's similar to Pylon in Capital City, but with less decoration. If it had been turned on, it might have protected the city as well, based on what I was seeing. The capital.
As if they didn't accomplish their goal then.
Potentially.
And the one that we're going to, like the one in the city was glowing, right? This one's
Yes.
not glowing.
It was glowing with a sort of golden pulse.
And this one just looks
This
inert.
one's inert. It literally just looks like, and you're a bit closer now. And you guys do have like the magnoculars and all that shit as well. And through your rifle scopes, and you'd be able to see that it looks like just a sheer blank glass black face. Like nothing. There's nothing there. It's just this black tower.
Have we discussed an approach to this thing?
Does anyone have Forbidden Lore Xenos? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. The
I'll roll.
structure. You can roll it. It's gonna be minus.
It's gonna be a 1.
It's gonna be minus 30.
Gotta be a 1. Nope.
Yeah, I'm not.
The structures look strange, but I mean, if what they're saying is true, it's from the Golden Age. So. No, not from the Golden Age. From one of the fucking ages where there were imperial cities.
When things wasn't
There's a
so
lot
bad.
of ages, man.
Millennia is
The
worth of
age
ages.
where the Horus Heresy happened. The Age of Heresy. There we go.
Right. Well, again, do we have a plan for encroaching this place?
Honestly, it's been
We're just going to walk up and knock.
At this point, it's more figuring out exactly how the place is set up. I would like to get a little bit closer and probably get elevated and then look around the area.
You'll see Stock slowly raise up his last remaining grenade.
We're definitely going to need that for later. We're gonna need multiple. We might need more grenades.
The
I
flamer
rip open
unit
my
pulls up his.
I rip open my trench coat and reveal the 6 pounds of
Your
plastic
fucking
explosive
S-vest?
that I still have strapped to my chest.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about your S-vest, like completely. The guardsmen
Right.
look perturbed,
Hey, wait.
but
Okay,
nod respectfully, like, "Oh yes."
So then, I would like to at least get a bit closer and then elevate ourselves to look around the area. Now, there's still the problem with the golems we have to worry about, which is unnerving in itself because
Right, what's a golem?
from what it sounds like, a servitor of some sort.
Alright, services is easy to kill. You just gotta shoot him in that little clicky bit in the back of their head.
Yes, but the question is, how many servitors are there?
As long as it's less than the number of bullets I got, we ain't gonna be too bad.
Starts
Yeah.
counting bullets.
How many is that again?
Don't worry,
Seven.
I'm
To be
keeping
sure.
track.
I have lots of
I'm
bullets.
keeping track.
I have lots of guns, and all of them have clips in them. So therefore, I have lots of bullets.
Hey, it's Pretty sound logic.
The sniper rifle alone has 20 rounds, and I have 3
don't-
clips of 20.
I
so
don't get why it
stupid.
has fucking 20 rounds.
That's crazy.
I think the fucking auto gun actually gets less rounds than
It's
that.
like, what the fuck? Is this is this a 22? Like,
It's ridiculous.
what is the caliber on this thing?
It does more damage than.
Well, that said,
yeah. So,
how close is too close? Then would you say for a red wizard to safely walk up on?
Look,
I
well,
don't- All right, we gotta take him alive, huh?
we
How
do
about we
have to
just
take
shoot
him
off
alive.
his arms and legs from far away, and then we go and get him?
I'm fine with this.
So,
Oh, he's metal. You can get it replaced.
question: what are the really high up individuals within inside of your home, Mars? That's what it is, right? Phalos. What are they like? I would assume he's somewhat strong, or at least close.
the Magos of Mars?
I'm just asking.
Fucking terrifying.
I'm just asking for individuals of that area. How powerful are they? What can we assume within power levels?
A Magos is to...
It's fucking Darth Vader, bro.
A Magos is to a tech priest what an Inquisitor is to a neophyte.
Fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping that this is he is nowhere nearing the power of the Magos of Mars.
And most of the time, tech priests are much better equipped. Tech priests don't share all the technology they know with the Imperium. They have a lot of advanced bullshit that they can bring to
And-
bear.
And Magos biologos
Biologos.
have the weirdest shit.
They completely have broken down the human physique into its perfect machine essence. So they're basically doctors that have every PhD imaginable.
And are really, really good at genetic engineering
So
and
why did we let
physical augmentation.
how can we let Bjorn go the other way then?
Well, I said to be taken with us. Y'all wanted him to go
You
and
did.
talk to people.
Yeah, we were trying to be efficient.
Well, if you could be convincing him that he had to do what we told him to do, which, while true, did not seem likely to happen, maybe he could have been coming here, but we had a mission that could not be waiting for him to complete his.
That is true. We do need to find a way to make this work.
Right, so now we got that fake emperor dude and a fucking wizard.
Is this a force-only objective?
What?
Are we only going to try and use force to make this work, or should we?
We can try to negotiate, but it's practically a heretic we're going to.
Right,
capture.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't really want to be close enough to negotiate.
I will
Well,
remind you,
basically,
as Inquisitors, you're trying to figure out the mystery. You're Inquisitors because you're inquisitive.
Right, hey, I got a question for you, metal man. If I killed you, right, and I chopped your head off, could we like plug it in and get stuff out of it after he's dead?
The answer's gotta be no, right? I'm just double checking. Warhammer
Uh,
just might let something like that fly.
It depends. It depends if their brain is still located in their head.
unfortunately, I
Tech
can't say no.
Tech priests have to keep at least some part of them organic. Supposedly. That's the law, but whether or not they all follow that is probably bullshit.
Or they'll leave like one fingernail.
It's something,
Organic.
yeah, they cannot be completely machine. They have to be still of the flesh. So, yeah, it could be possible. So if you cut off a Magos' head, that might not have had anything important in it other than like some optical cameras and like sensors and shit like that. His real head, his real brain could have been removed and put into a fucking adamantine shell inside of his chest cavity.
There used to be, I remember in the first generation, there used to be an upgrade you could get where it was like you literally had like a brain in a jar. You could get an extra brain. So like you could
I
have like
remember that
another
dumb shit.
yeah, you could have another tech priest that like his body had been destroyed. You could get him in like this little floating Futurama tank that would like attach to you, and it was like 2 brains, so you had like 2 people living in one body, and like so for double the computative power.
That's the kind of shit Biologoses have.
The answer is complicated. It is depending on where someone is keeping his brain.
Right, but ain't no like, you know, you got that slate and that slate's got stuff on,
No,
right?
it is
I
still
can't plug in, like if I plug you into the wall, you ain't gonna, I can't download nothing.
You could be getting information off of my data slate.
Right, but do you got a data slate in your head or you got squishy bits like us?
Well, they are certainly not as squishy as yours, but it is still brain.
You probably have some measure of cybernetic implant and processing units. Nothing crazy, but more than likely you would have several that would increase your intelligence and cognitive power and your binary speech and such like that.
And plus, just allow you to like effectively utilize your mechadendrites and stuff like that.
There are various pieces of technology designed to help amplify brain power and control various just the mechadendrites slowly moving towards it. Yes, the equipment and attachments as they are gained, but there is not it's not a cogitator. There is not just storage of knowledge.
So we can't just kill him and then figure out what he knows after that, right? Can't just,
No.
no? Right.
Probably not.
Shame.
You could kill him anyway.
Though that does bring it up, we could probably tear him apart.
Barbosa absolutely intends to kill this guy.
It is painfully obvious.
Think
and
that's a
we are
good plan,
trying
huh?
to walk you back.
I mean, no, Barbosa just like, Barbosa doesn't really know how
Nah,
to
man.
not use violence.
Go for
so.
No, violence is acceptable.
Go for it.
But not always necessary.
I'm just gonna blow his arms and legs off.
I am very much in support of Plane to be removing limbs.
What if he is willing to come freely?
I do
Right,
not
then he
foresee this as
probably
likely
wouldn't.
situation, but am willing to.
Says who?
entertain.
We don't know. Just saying.
Right, mate. When was the last time a heretic came willingly?
The last guy talked to you willingly.
Who?
The fucking guy in his office that you barged into.
He wasn't a
wasn't
real
a
heretic. He was just a guy that didn't know what he was getting
And
into.
he
He wa-
really did not want to talk to us.
Technically,
Yeah.
technically, that chick also came with us, without much, fighting. So
Yeah,
If
but these
put
aren't
in the right
heretics.
circumstance, I only suggest, because if put in the right circumstance, people will oblige out of fear for their life, or we don't know.
If we can talk him into coming with us, I am open to this possibility as well.
it honestly would be nice, but
Not expected. I don't expect it either.
Right, mate. I ain't never
I'm
met
just
a witch
trying to
that
think
comes
through.
willingly. I say we just get real far away,
Possibilities.
right? Me and Lothos, we both got sniper rifles. I go for the legs, he goes for the arms. Then we walk up, strap him to Velos' back, right? He's got them big clunky legs. He can drag them on back, and we call in on that radio bit, and then we have him come pick us up.
So what do
Bob's
we
your
need
uncle.
from this Bilogos?
we
I
need
think
him.
we just need him.
We need him. That's our
How
main
much
thing.
of him?
And I would
Enough to
assume,
talk.
Parts of him?
I would assume along with him, we would need any incriminating evidence of such. Preferably more information on that recipe and that unknown chemical. inside
Right, and we
it.
gotta ask him about them kids.
Oh,
I
yes,
think
the
enough
kids
of
are
him
still
to
a thing
speak
as
to.
well.
Oh yes, the children.
The whole reason we're here.
I mean, yeah, they're like evidence of his crimes. I
They're
wasn't
just-
super
they're
worried
just
about their well-being.
breadcrumbs
or
along
anything.
the trail.
It's just a little side bit.
The
Don't
breadcrumbs
worry.
Hey, look, he
along
bought him
this-
fair and square. Okay, there's no rules against slavery in
bought
40k.
them-
He accepted them under his care as their tutor.
Look,
Uh,
if he hadn't also used those funds to start a heretical war and possibly poisoned a very high-ranking official,
He's not a
And
very
wasn't calling
high-ranking
himself
official. He's
the
the
Omnissiah? I doubt he-
high-ranking
He's the official.
He's the
You
guy.
That
don't
stuff
get
won't
any
happen.
more official.
He's the
Like,
guy.
it's either him or the Emperor himself. That's what we're looking at right now.
And the Emperor is dead.
Yeah. Well,
Or
So
Space
if all
Baby.
that stuff wasn't happening, I wouldn't care about these judgments.
Eh.
They wouldn't be a crime to me. But since all that stuff is happening in part and attached to them, then yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, you guys still aren't sure if the liquor ever reached Gilliman either.
he
But
could be doing his own
We end up being
investigation.
responsible for the death of Ruberg.
Hey,
Responsible is the word. We don't even know what's in it. We all looked at it. Nobody knew.
Don't know what the fuck
True,
that is.
true. Yeah, this is an interesting ingredient.
It's a thing.
That sure is a squiggly line on the screen.
See, that's
It
why.
sure
That's
looks like chemical.
which is why you guys need the bio logos.
Alive.
Now that we
Please
have
and thank
come
you.
full circle.
Look, I'm just trying to determine how much of him needs to be remaining for him to be functional enough to talk, okay? Like, we just don't need all of him. We just need to figure out how many... Right, mate. How many bits can I shoot off of you still live?
Similar number of bits is to be shooting off anyone else.
That's a relative question, really.
Right. So
Like, how
what
big are the
bits?
bits?
The
Oh,
big
what
bit.
bits? What bits?
It's
How do you know if
depending
it's
what he has
hand or
replaced.
arm?
Yeah, are you counting
If
a
you
bit as
remove
like
leg,
the whole hand or like a finger?
that is a good point. Where's the point where you come from bits to chunks?
I'm gonna be role playing as, I guess, stock right now because I want to be involved in this conversation.
Hmm. What would you consider a hand? I would say that's a chunk.
That's a chunk. Yeah.
Right, so where I come from, a bit is anything below the elbow. Right, when I lost this arm, that was a chunk.
Do you mean like below the elbow for the whole body? Like anything from elbow up is.
No, mate. Like, so from ear to ear's a bit, and from ear to ear's a bit.
But like,
From
would
ear
you
to ear's a chunk.
would your ear be a bit or a chunk?
No, that's a knob.
That's a.
I mean, if we are qualifying body parts, I feel like hand is piece, elbow down is chunk.
You almost lost a piece.
Right, then what's the bit?
I am aware, stuck. Yes, it is still painful. Thank you for
Nice.
asking.
So the hand is a piece. Below the
No, it's a
elbows-
bit.
Well, no, below
It
the
depends on
elbow is
who
a
are you
bit.
asking. I am
Below,
saying hand is
below
piece.
the below the elbow is a bit. Below the shoulder is a chunk.
A limb. It is a limb. It does not need other word to describe it. It is full limb. It is arm.
The whole ass arm is gone.
Right, but your arms are bits. Right, I'm just gonna blow off whatever bits look the least bit. But wait,
Well,
you metal blokes, you got extra bits.
is accurate.
Wait. Where's technically the bit on the big metal arm thing? I guess it has joints as well, so you know.
Right, but
Makes
not that
sense.
one coming out of his shoulder.
Do
That one's
not
all
aim for
naked.
big metal arm. It is not vital to his existence.
You don't
Right,
know
but
that.
what if we blow off his arms and legs and he starts acting like a spider and starts crawling around on his other arm?
Well, it will depend on how many metal arms he has.
There
We
was
are not
a
knowing.
very famous Skitarii, General Grievous, that used that same tactic. More machine
for
than man.
extreme-
Dual plasma cutters.
No, but the real
For
question is,
power swords.
I'm just saying below the shoulder is like a chunk.
This limb.
Chambers is just gonna be smoking a low step, but like, guys, you know what? This is some of the most fucked up shit.
Okay. I apologize.
What are we doing?
So
If
what
I
do we
can
call-
ask, my lords.
Alright, so in parlance, all y'all blokes, you understand, I'm gonna blow off his arms and his legs, yeah? And then if that don't stop him, I'm gonna blow off his head. And then maybe his brain's in a jar or something like that, like the detective is talking about. I don't know.
That would suggest, if anything, just arms and legs.
Right, but what if his brain's in his arm now?
Well, then we're fucked in the first place.
That's a very good point. I think removing any parts, bits, limbs, or otherwise,
Man,
Chunks.
may not be a good idea.
Odds,
Man,
Oh,
ends,
wait, you can do
knobs,
that
bobs.
spooky thing. You can do that spooky thing where you make him hold still, yeah? You just do that, and then we'll talk to him. And then if you don't talk, then we blow off his bits.
Easier said than done when you're talking about red wizards. Maybe.
Chambers gonna take another drag on the stick. Yeah, about that. Do we know why he's the red wizard?
Well, I was
You just assume we can take things willingly.
the
This
Is
guy.
the term wizard even a thing in 40k?
No.
Like,
You have no
what
idea what a wizard is.
primitives have been calling us. It means he is wearing red and has technology.
No, you're a
They refer
golem.
to us as wizards. Well, yes.
no,
I was
I'm a
called
wizard,
golem,
what? He
But
thinks I'm a
anyone
wizard.
with gun was called wizard.
No, the
Yeah.
guys with flamers are wizards.
Well,
wait,
Oh,
wait,
then
wait,
what am
wait,
I?
all of it.
wait, go back. So you're
I'm a
saying,
ranger.
And then some of you are mages.
so what you're saying is he has flamers for arms,
Maybe.
he has fire in
mate.
some respect.
Or-
it is
or-
sound-
That's easy. We just don't get too close. It can't scorch us.
or maybe he.
I think you're losing the point of this on semantics.
Right, mate. Why don't we just go up there? I'm gonna rappel up to the top of the place. Y'all go through the bottom. I'll go through the top. I'll look at him. He start acting crazy. You can go and talk to him if you want. If he acts crazy, I'll blow his arms off.
But what
Maybe
if
we
the
should get
information
to
is in the
location
arms?
Before we are making a plan, we do not know if there will be a place to grapple to.
There's always a place to grapple to, mate.
Well,
Really, all you gotta do is shoot some things, and then you can have a place to grapple to.
It might not be an ideal location.
I could
But
just
it
hang
is a
off the wall,
location.
mate. I'm gonna tie that thing around my waist. I'll hang off the wall.
It's Batman.
well,
There
Bitch,
was this
I'm
hollow
Batman.
I saw all the time called Man Bat.
Is that another thing you saw at the bottom of the ship?
No, mate, no. Them was the snake ladies.
I don't know. I just feel like you.
Alright, we could have some of them snake ladies. They assassins, right? Why don't we have them do something?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds like something that would be down there based on other hybrids. You have snake ladies, spider
bats.
crabs, man bats.
You guys could have asked the old girls for some help.
That's later. That's later thing. That's later thing.
Next time.
Next time when Barbosa tries to sleep with one of the snake ladies.
No, mate. I like chicks with scars, not chicks without bones. I like something to grind against that I'm getting down, yeah, you know what I mean? I like when them pelvic bones be bumping up against each other.
How far is it to Obsidian Gate?
How long have we been fucking walking?
Talking about dismembering people for quite some time.
At least 4 low sticks worth.
This is
That's it?
the longest walk I've ever had.
Are those really big glow sticks, or have we just been not walking?
They're like
for a-
cigars. It's like,
Okay then. So let's.
Do you
get there
guys
and
want to just
check out the
beeline it to the Obsidian Gate, or do you want to explore the city? What's up?
Let's.
I would have been like poking around and see if there's anything that looks interesting, but I'm not really trying to.
There is one main spine tower that looks mostly intact. It's the most developed and prominent structure. Visible, it's very tall, probably about as tall as the one you guys saw in Alpheus.
Does it look mostly intact? As in, like it's more...
All the windows are blown out.
Okay, so it looks like it's been through everything.
It's been
It
through
just
some
looks like
shit.
it was-
Yeah, there's vines.
It's
and
like the
shit crawling
equivalent
up
of the
it.
pyramid or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like better off, but it's still like just looks just as, it's not like it's weirdly
Yeah, think
in
of
better
it.
shape.
Think of it like the runes in Greece.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go
I mean,
climbing in there.
You could.
I see very little reason to go into there. I mean,
Too
if
much
everything
brain
looks so
power.
old, like
You said that, and it made sense. But I was going, were there ruins in Greece? The musical? Nope. Not what we're talking about.
See, we were back on track. I had guided,
We had made it. We were there.
I had guided this ship back into safe channels, and then you're just a fucking hurricane.
And then fucking John Travolta pops out.
Did we
I
ever
wish I
leave-
knew a song from Greece.
Did we ever leave port?
Grease lightning, man.
Did we ever leave port, honestly?
Are we still in the warp? Oh god.
I mean, if one of these vehicles worked, we could get some grease lightning going, but...
Could have named the auto
They're all,
carriage
you know.
Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
Okay then.
They're all, you know, decorative and covered in plant life.
I will be keeping
Atta
an eye out for
girl.
the ghost again.
Mad
Depending on how much
wizard,
longer.
nice as could be.
While they're keeping an eye out, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for
On the
these
lookout
golems.
for heresy.
We're all fired.
Welcome to the
We're
show,
still-
He's a
folks.
tech priest. You know what that means.
We're staying, everybody. We promise.
What
yeah,
were
about the
you?
spire. Do we want
ask-
to check that out, or...?
Let's just 20 minutes later.
Stock just fucking pulls out his sidearm. Just like, I'm done. I'm going to see the Emperor.
The Emperor, like, is like, no.
No, the Emperor's probably, I understand, my son.
I would do the same thing in your situation.
No! Bad God. Yeah, so you guys just want to make it towards the tower.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
making towards the tower, I'm just gonna be keeping an eye out for these fucking golems.
That being said, unless the ghost dude shows up and goes down, shows that he's going a different route, I would want to, if he shows up at any point, I'm kind of intrigued as to where he's going.
Okay.
So as long as he's going towards the tower, I'm cool going to the tower.
Modius, you said you're continuing your mantle?
Yeah, in the wording, basically, you can use it throughout as long as you don't use any other powers.
Yeah, so you would not see him anymore.
Mm.
Because it does say it protects against entities of the warp. So a lot of the warp shit that should have been going on to you guys actually hasn't been going on.
Oh no.
Because of your navigator.
Yeah, but we don't know.
But we don't know that,
You
so
don't
he
know
gets
that.
credit.
Yeah, he hasn't
He's
told
still
you guys.
basically almost a witch. I did want to check out this spire. If it's
It is only
mostly
within it's like a 5 or 10 meter radius.
5 meters, yeah.
5 meters.
You would pop in and out of it, but I think for the most 5 meters is pretty big.
Yep.
Yeah, 25 feet, that's a decent, yeah.
And you want to inspect the tower. So yeah, as you guys approach, you guys are going to actually go right past
20-ish
it.
feet.
You see these large, this large entranceway. The doors have long since either been broken or shattered or rotted or something has happened to them. In the darkness inside, you don't need to worry about because you have your optical mechadendrite. Ooh.
The rest of us can't see much in the dark without our.
I got them photo lenses, not giving them back.
Are they working?
He
Yeah, they
did say
work.
the photo lenses were working, so I also have those. But I also have a glow globe, which I believe I left for you, Modius.
No! Fucking
No.
way.
Oh, you did. Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
So, I was rolling to see if you guys got a psychic phenomena. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to use the number from the roll as the psychic phenomena. And no shit, it's warp ghosts. I
It is
swear
meant
to
to be.
fucking God, it's warp ghosts.
Well then, you know what it means then.
So,
It means stay
what
close
this
to me.
says is ghostly apparitions fill the earth in 3D 10 meters, flying about and howling in pain for a few brief moments. Everyone in the radius, except for... well, it's not initiating off a psyker. Everyone in the radius must test against a fear rating of 1.
Does that apply? Given
I'm not
my,
even going to
aura?
worry about that. So, as... This is all thematic. As you guys, pass through this building and Phalos, as you sort of explore a little bit more inside, there is that sort of sudden chill and ozone as you see suddenly before you figures much like the one who's been manifesting before you, fighting a brutal battle. It is very close quarters at this point, and it looks like a mob has overran the building, and they are armed with pipes and stones and glass and knives and guns and things like that. And it seems like a few, whatever they might be, PDF, Imperial Guard, it's uncertain, are just basically have fallen back to this building. And the carnage and bloodshed in front of you is just this sudden sort of snap into existence, and then just as soon as it appears, it's gone.
Right, mate. Not so sure we should be going in there.
No power running here, or just no lights?
Oh, there's power.
Well, I guess that explains what happened when the storm hit.
Look in, and as the apparition fades, you see a blinking light appear above a elevator whose doors open slowly.
My guns are out. Immediately just...
Yeah, the guardsmen will also be like, oh. Okay. Because the ghosts already freaked them out, and now they're like...
okay,
Prepared to be a place in a tower such as this.
That's a thing that we should probably avoid.
Right, mate.
Just an elevator, we're probably fine.
If you ask my official Imperial Guardsman advice, sir.
Right, what's that primer say about stuff like this?
Fear not the illusions of the witch. Stride forward into glorious bloodshed in the name of the Emperor.
Right, that sounds like terrible advice.
Might is as he commands, and he will rev his chainsword. Unless my lords would wish that we prefer along our route.
That depends. Just based on what I would know about towers such as this, is there a place that
This is
somewhere
probably the government building.
Oh.
I'm just wondering if there's a place that
This
might
is what will
have-
eventually make up the center spine of a hive.
Okay.
So it will be the government, the rich, the influential, things like that.
I'm just hoping I might be able to find
Right,
records.
so you're saying there's loot in there, yeah?
You want to find a what, Phalos?
Records, a cogitator,
Yes.
something that might show me.
Hypothetically,
If it's
yes,
still functional.
there would be city records in here.
This would be the place to find information.
Right, we're going in there, ain't we?
Can-
We can't just torture a bloke for the information. We gotta go into the spooky
You don't
building.
have to go in there.
Get it the
I'm doing it in
Having
character.
Right way.
information about time before storms, or time immediately after storms, if they have it. He will have information about his arrival here.
I'm gonna get a shotgun next time. You gotta be taken in these fucking places. I'll fucking check my guns and be like, right, we doing it, let's go.
Can we not, my lords?
I don't want to, but the metal man, he wants to go and find records, and we're here supposed to find out what the fuck happened. So maybe, you know, a job's a job.
I thought... Alright. Sort of... Fuck.
Tell you what, bro. You lot, you stay out here, yeah? Watch
No.
the front, make sure no one comes up behind us.
Oh, my lord. We are the Imperial Guard, and we will do our duty. Right, Chambers? And he will put a stiff arm around Chambers' neck and sort of guide him towards the building. Flamer units first. And they will proceed in. As you enter, the Millennia have scoured away traces of the battle, for the most part. You do see some very, very ancient scoring along the melted parts where Laz fire probably hit, stippling from heavy arms. The bones and everything has long since turned to dust.
Any Archaeotech guns laying around the floor?
No, there is rust and decay, and this building itself, as lasting and, you know, powerful as the Imperium's construction may be, it will eventually, everything eventually breaks down. At some
Entropy
point.
and all things.
Eventually, yeah. The building isn't entirely, like, there are portions that have crumbled away just from the atoms over the years, just displacing. Structural weaknesses, earthquakes, temperature, things like that have damage the building, but not to the extent of everything else. This one is in fairly good shape. There are a row of cogitators and screens. Sort of, it looks to be a secretary or entry center checkpoint, maybe. Again, unworking, but just the blinking light of the elevator. It's a slow pulse, just.
I'm gonna creep up on the elevator with my guns and kind of like go from one angle and see as much as I can see, and then kind of scoot to the other side and see what I can see, and just kind of be advancing on it, seeing if there's anybody in there, and then eventually like poke my head in, look up, look down, look left, right, see if there's anybody in there.
As you get closer, and you guys make your way into the lobby of this administration building, administratum, excuse me.
Fake Latin.
And Barbosa, as you sort of push past the guardsman and take a peek into the elevator, you notice a splattering of long dried blood and a number of bullet holes. There is a discoloration on the ground and a pile of what equates to dust and dirt, but may have once been a body.
Is there any signs in all this dust and debris and everything of anything coming through here recently? Is there any tracks or signs of movement or anything?
No, there is actually, inside the elevator, there is about 1.5 inches of dust that is hardened to almost a brittle cracker.
I'll kind of just shrug, be like, relax a little bit. Still keep my guns. Well, I'd probably keep like, nah, I'd probably put my guns away after I kind of like look around, make sure there's nothing going on, kind of holster my guns, be like, right, looks clear. Doesn't look like anyone's been through here anytime lately. Are we going to ride this hunk of junk up to the top?
It doesn't necessarily have to be at the top, Phalos. Would you know where to approximate what we're looking for? I only say that because the last time we were at the very top of a building such as this, shit hit the fan.
Fucking wind.
Well, let us not be going outside the top floor this time, if we must go that high. My instinct is telling me that ground floor is not a place to be keeping important records, and the higher you go, the more important you are.
Hard to
Right,
say.
so going to the top.
Lothos, give me a logic check with plus 20, because you're a hive worlder.
Woo! Plus 20. Nice. I'm gonna use a fate point for this.
Okay.
Another plus
Oh.
20 to that. So, actually, hold on. Click. And plus 20. Click. Oh, that was close. I almost didn't make it.
Spaz.
I almost didn't make it, guys.
Good thing you used a logic point. Alright?
Yeah, good thing I used that fate point, honestly.
Fuck me.
Or
Okay.
a logic point, not fate point.
Logic fate. It is
all the
basically a
same.
logic point because you're just doing logic. You know
Logic.
how spines work in hives. You grew up in one. Government buildings, it's usually people near the top, very wealthy people. Then below that are the guilds, and then the administration. So you'd probably be about like a little between halfway up the tower,
So,
most likely.
halfway points. Possibility, is there also the possibility for like there'd be storages or vaults underneath it?
Like a
Or
server,
is it only going up? Yeah, like kind
like
of
a
like
cogitator
server.
room or something.
Yeah.
There might be, but you would have the possibility of them being on site is not guaranteed either. Like there might be a completely different. There might a lot of the undercity has collapsed, which is why the city has sunk. So a
Okay.
lot of that would have been held in the underground portions of this city, which would be quite a considerable size. The majority of the city was probably underground, given the climate of the surface.
And then the collapse.
So anything that would be underground, such as subways, public transportation, access ways, maintenance, sewers, shit like that, has more than likely collapsed.
Yeah. So,
pretty much where I want to go up to about the halfway point. I would probably suggest going down further, but considering the city has fallen downwards, it's just no point in trying to find, you know, a vault or library or some sort of thing with documentation.
Is there more than one elevator bay, or is it just the one elevator?
Oh, it's a line of about 20 elevators. This is the only one that's working.
When he says about going down, I would like try to pry open one of the other ones, the doors open, and see if I could look down the
Give
shaft.
me an athletics check. Do you have any tools to assist you?
A claw gun.
Yeah, I could probably like use my knife to like wedge the doors open a
I'll
little
give
bit
you
or
a
something
plus
like
5.
I'll help with just, you know, my beefy arms.
Okay, I'll give you a plus.
that. In that
15.
case, since do you have athletics? Or well, that's a little meta. I don't have any athletics. Is there a way to use acrobatics to do this?
No.
Can
I do a
just
backflip in front of the elevator.
Can I just do a straight strength test so I don't get the -20?
It's
No.
athletics.
Shit.
That looked cool, but it did nothing.
Alright, fucking Dick
plus-
Grayson.
Plus 15. I'll use a fate point. So
Can't wait
I'll
until
go-
Barbosa turns into Max Payne.
Hey!
Nice.
Cool.
Not bad.
Yeah, so
And on fucking beefy.
with Phalos' help, you guys pry this ancient door open, and it's basically fused into the wall at this point, just from the decades of dust and dirt and buildup and rust and everything. But somehow you guys managed to just pry this thing open, and there's a grinding, screeching creak of ancient gears and mechanisms being moved. And you look down, and it is just a pitch black darkness. You shine your stab light down there, and it cannot penetrate the depth.
Is there? Forgive me for hoping for the obvious. Is there any kind of?
Stairs?
No. I mean, like a some kind of guide as to what floors contain what, like residential, and is.
Just a map.
I'm presuming there's a shitload of floors. So if we're
No.
saying about halfway up,
That
we're talking about still several.
The Imperium is a place where you don't just kind of go if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah,
Like, if someone had business here,
we could
they would
search for a
either
long
work
time.
here or be escorted here or something like that. Like, yeah, even, like, middle part of the tower is still, like, several dozen floors.
I worry we could search here for
I'm gonna
much longer than we intend.
motion behind me and be like, right, where's that globe?
Modius has it.
Yeah, I'll produce it for you.
Yeah, right. Sorry, mate. And I'm gonna click it on and drop it down the hole. And see how long it takes for it to fall. And like see if it like it just as it's falling, just and then like if it gets too far away, like I'll pull out my scope so I can still see that motherfucker.
I guess I'll just.
And I have the photo lenses on, so it's gonna.
It
I
falls.
guess I'll delete that globe forever.
Might as well, dude. It falls for about what you estimate to be 50 meters before the wind currents and updrafts smash it against the walls of the chamber. And the light goes out.
Oh, mate, that's a deep ass hole.
Yeah, Barbosa, that means that I'm gonna need the scanners back at some point soon, so.
I'll get you back, mate. As soon as I get some replacement ones, I just want
Soon-
to shoot people in the
Soon
door.
as I get me my recoil glove.
No.
No, so never?
No, you just took my only source of light. I'll be needing those, just so you know.
Right.
So are we going to search aimlessly? I mean, for
Well,
something
I would
that
not
might not
recommend
exist?
Searching aimlessly, but if we search with intent and strategy, we might find what we're looking for. I am hoping to get context for this place that the Biologos may already have to hopefully inform decisions going forward. We may not find it, but was my
We-
plan.
We don't necessarily have a time constraint.
No,
Well, I
but
thought the
time
reason we
favors.
to go and bring the space marine with us because we had a time constraint.
Well, it was never
Well,
time
we had a
constraint. It
task
is-
to do.
It is that Biologos time favors his side of things.
Chambers will speak up. My lords, are we going to ignore the spooky elevator?
Well, man, I'm trying to find anything else to do besides go up that fucking elevator.
I noticed, my lord, but unless you suggest we climb up the side of the building.
Elevator. What? I mean, it's blinking. That's his problem.
There's a pulsing light. It's light in the inside. There's a nice soft glow from the lumen.
Supposed to checked it out.
There's a black stain against one of the walls with 2 puncture holes, probably from bullets of some sort.
Yeah, somebody died here. I mean, is the
Long
machine
time
spirit
ago.
malignant?
Do you want to tap in?
I would love to.
There is no machine spirit.
Let's leave this building immediately.
As you
Checks out.
interface with the control panel and expect to feel the brush of the machine spirit, there is no machine. There is no electronic force propelling this elevator. There is no power in this building.
As the tech priest just goes shooting up in the elevator.
Something just snatches him.
If the doors just slam shut with him inside.
We
But
should
as
visit
you-
immediately.
As you realize this, you are in the elevator and you sort of look up. And it's stable. And you sense the presence more than see it. You hear the ragged breathing, and the rest of you see it. There's no blink, there's no flash, there's no slow fade. He is there one moment and gone the next. This officer you've been following around, he's now has a very serious looking wound across one of his, the side of his head. It looks like he has lost his eye completely. He's holding what looks like a wad of like dirty rags onto it and relentlessly firing out with this solid projectile weapon that he has. You'll see him turn over his shoulder, look real quick, and start jamming one of the buttons, and the doors will begin to close.
Eve out of that thing.
I would like a dodge check.
Oh no.
I wouldn't no just yet. There's, you know,
Oh no.
It's
Oh,
not-
you're right. You got this. Oh no.
it's not dismal, my odds. I may or may not be using a fade point.
Are you using the fate point before or after?
Let me use it before.
Okay, so
Plus
plus
10.
10.
Plus 10. Any other modifiers?
It's gonna be a flat. I'm gonna give you this fair and square. Whether you meet your maker or not.
Okay. Okay. You should have saved your fate point for after, I guess.
I guess so.
No fucking way.
I don't
Right.
think we have a tech priest anymore.
Balos.
What is with your rolls, bro? What the fuck?
I almost want to roll again just to see how wrong you were. I bet I would just roll 2 100s in a row.
If you roll 2 100s, it's meant to be.
Even better if you roll a 1. That'd be fucking amazing.
That would just fuck me forever.
I wanted to see what your
So-
other
So my
roll.
target-
It doesn't
44.
matter. Oh my god.
I don't
So
give a
5
shit what your
degrees.
target was.
5 degrees of failure. So the weight of the tech priest like fucks up with the elevator and just
So that was just for a dodge. So big. I mean,
Okay.
does that mean you dodge into? I'm not even-
He
It
gets
was gonna
confused,
miss,
and he
but you-
just smashes his face into the wall.
As this
Oh my
figure
God.
manifests in front of you and rapidly jams on the buttons and the doors begin to close, you try to run forward and you impact with his solid frame,
oh
and he turns around. Desertion, guardsman. And the rest of you watch as the doors close.
no, Phalos, not like this.
Phalos, as the doors close, you find yourself instantly in pitch darkness. Optical only through your mechadendrites, as you are whisked up in this tower. The rest of you see this occur.
The fuck?
Chambers and Stock are just like, what the fuck just happened? What in the name of Holy Terra
I think
Oh
think
my-
I think I
Right,
think
I
that
just want on the record,
I
I say
think-
not to go in here, and the tech priest insisted, and now the elevator took him, so
I
he brought
bel-
this on himself.
I believe the lift just devoured our tech priest.
Well, I think we don't go to tech priest anymore, man.
Beryl is going to curse under his breath, run over to the elevator, which doors has closed, and he will take his chainsword to them and cut them open.
Beryl, saving Velos.
He will, interestingly enough, as he pulls back the metal of these doors, you don't see an empty elevator shaft. You see an elevator with 2 bullet holes and a spatter of blood.
Well,
Halos has been taken to the Twilight
shall
realm.
we?
We go soon. No.
Phalos.
The warp has swallowed him whole.
As you travel through darkness, a darkness that not even your mechadandrites are able to pierce, we will go over the mental repercussions of this later. The psychological trauma. Eventually, you hear a soft chime, and the smell of blood and sweat and gunpowder fills the elevator. And you
Oh, fuck,
hear
it's time travel.
someone making a hacking cough. The doors open, and you see splayed out before you a large control room, almost. Very similar to those sort of knockoffs you see from like Armageddon of like mission control. These panels and stations, servitors at all of them, multitudes of cables and wiring running through, human serfs, ecclesiarchal priests. There are cherubs. There are massive amounts of data and the glowing screen of panels. There is a panic to the movements in this room. And you will see a tall figure dressed very similarly to the officer you've been following. He will begin to say something, and he will be shot through the head. No one will react in the room. The servitors work on, the serfs and ecclesiarchal continue about their works. No one takes any notice of you in the elevator.
That tech priest invisibility coming in handy.
It's like, I am the elevator. Don't look behind the curtain! Yeah, what would you like to do?
Guy's no longer in the elevator with me. I'm just in the
He has
elevator
walked
alone.
out and shot someone.
Oh, he shot that.
Yes.
Guy. Okay.
He strode out, shot the man, and seems to be making his way towards the command throne.
Well, I guess let's follow this guy.
You want to step out of the elevator?
Not particularly, but I'm gonna.
Okay. Good for you. As you step
Taking
out of the
chances.
elevator, you hear a soft chime. The doors close. And you are in the room. The figure has made his way towards the command throne and is seated in it. He has left a trail of blood behind him. He is heavily wounded, and given your slight experience with death and violence and the guard, he's gonna die soon. The amount of blood he is losing and has already lost, he's stumbling, his eyes are barely open, his eye is barely open, he's fumbling and grasping at controls, and you see that he reaches underneath his mantle and his coats and shirts and pulls out an Aquila. He's clutching it and most likely praying to himself. You can't hear the words from here. And he will begin reciting what you recognize as one of the intonations from Mars, one of the 15 lesser secrets. And it's sort of a prayer or mantra for adepts of Mars. And you see as he intones these prayers, the panels light up, and there is a thrum that you feel reverberating through the building. The servitors begin to die, one at a time. Their flesh either catching aflame or their components burning out. The ecclesiarchy will look around in panic, unsure to what is happening. And You'll see the man sort of lean back in the command throne, take his officer's cap off, breathe out one last sigh, shoot the panel in front of him, shoot himself. You hear a gurgling, chirping, almost bird song of a laugh behind you. And there's a figure spotted in the forest, standing there in the darkness and the shadows that seem to wrap and coalesce around you. You can't get a good idea of its outline. The same darkness that has clouded your mechadendrites up until this point. Humans. Curious, no? The power to save their world at their fingertips, and they throw it away. Don't you agree, son of Mars?
I'm gonna put a hand on a gun and turn and see what the hell is referring to humans, because that's not good for me.
The figure is cloaked in shadow. You see what you think to be feathers, long, spindly arms clutching a gnarled staff. Darkness coalescing around it. Chitters and whispers, strange smells and scents of incense and lost worlds and books and data slates and change. The figure will stride forward, the shadows pulling off of the wall like they're some sort of tar and smearing along after it as though they're a fluid on the ground, obstructing in a perfect blackness the area it walks across. And as it fades, the flooring changes and degrades and rots into the stage that you saw it look at when you first entered the building, old, decrepit, crumbling. And the figure will trace a hand across the command throne, and you see the corpse molder and rot and decay and weather away to dust. You've piqued my interest. I see change in you. A shifting of this universe. I followed your master's exploits for some time, and I must say, you four are the most decadent force. Follow the breadcrumbs, little rats. Follow the breadcrumbs. He will quickly, sharply wheel the throne around. You'll see the grinning skull with the light of the soul of this long-dead commander still flaring in them, tortured and lost. And then you blink, and you're in a crumbling room of old and broken cogitators. And in the dust of what was once a body, a small silver Aquila. Go ahead and make a willpower check. Minus 30.
Oh, goody.
Small silver what now?
Aquila.
Aquila, oh.
Yeah, let's use a fate point.
Plus 10?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we sure we don't want to reroll?
I mean, without it, my odds were 4.
Okay.
14 is what I needed.
It was contested. So, you will take 3 points of corruption.
Bring it.
And you're very confused. Because as you look around, you can't exactly remember how you got here. You look towards the elevator, and the doors are blown in towards the room. Long since destroyed. blast marks and scorch marks, showing that someone tried to breach the room at some point. Looking about, though, you do see another small private elevator that has the small blinking pulse of a command light upon it.
Well, you can't go down, so.
Well, first I'm gonna go to the command throne.
Okay.
I'm gonna retrieve this Aquila.
Okay. You sort of dig through this long dried dust of. It's not even human anymore. It's literally dust. Finding this Aquila on a long silver chain, and it's stiff and it's gummed up. It needs cleaning, but it's a comforting sight and a confusing sight, especially given what you have seen and what has occurred and the interaction you just had with something.
Mm-hmm.
Xenos.
By the way, I was looking around for that the whole time.
Yeah, it's
assuming
you're unsure whether it's a demon or the warp being thin or something. You assume that the warp is extremely thin on this planet because of the warp storms. So it's viable that entities directly from the warp would be easier to transition into real space.
when I check out what he blew up, I mean, I'm inferring from what was just said to me that he stopped the pylons from being activated.
If that's what you
I
infer.
wanted to see if I could confirm that based on, but I mean, I'm assuming it's just, you know, a command console with levers and dials and buttons. And
It's
doesn't tell me anything.
hollow screens that have been shattered by gunfire. The damage is apparent, even centuries later. A lot of these are intact, but it looks like this sort of central console for the command throne has been rendered unusable. You are free to make your own inferences, given the dialogue and things you've seen.
That's where I'm at. I was just curious if I could attempt to verify, but it's going to be, you know,
Mhm.
destroyed old computers. The other thing I was curious about, are there windows in sight?
There are.
First off, was there anything apparent outside the building during all that?
No. There was smoke that you saw, but that's not incredibly unusual.
Sure.
It was snowing. It was mid-afternoon.
And then just glancing out, how high up am I?
You are within the fog cloud, so you actually can't see much.
Okay, so it's up.
You're up, but the fog cloud isn't too high among the city. It's a low-hanging haze. So you're probably, if you want to estimate it, given the curvature of the Earth and other bullshit that you can do with math, you're probably about 37 stories up.
Well, I will do a once around just to see if anything from the remains of servitors to command consoles might jump out at me as something where I could learn a little bit more about what happened here, but I'm making my way towards this other elevator.
Given the general layout of the room, it does look to be some sort of command center. It's very similar to the bridge of a ship. The other cogitators and servitors are obviously for processing and data sorting. The main command throne looks a little advanced. There does seem to be some sort of... It's obviously like a main console, just by the build of it and structure from what you've seen that hasn't been shattered by ballistic fire and rotted away through time. There are no neural interfaces on the command throne, which is interesting. So this was a manual operated device of some sort. Like there are implants that can let you control your ship from fucking... Like you can make a person a part of a spaceship if you want to. And have them perfectly knitted in to the ship and its functions and its assets, so they essentially become the ship. But this is not something like that. It is a completely manual process that this console did.
And there wouldn't be
Not unless you could restore power to the city.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's head down.
It's more than possible that if you... The world... The Adeptus Mechanicus would be extremely interested in this place. Now, your fealty is to the Emperor and the Inquisition and all that, but you're still a part of the Cult of Mars. Just like a tech marine follows the teaching of Mars, but is still a space marine at heart. He will always choose his battle brothers over the machine. You will always sort of have that pull towards Mars and the machine cult and all of that. I will say that even from the state that this stuff is in, the Tech Priests of Mars would be extremely interested in such a find and the possibilities that may be uncovered here.
Well, I'm very intrigued, so that logic follows. We'll see what can be done with this information. I don't know if this planet's going to exist once we leave, so we'll file that away as to be determined later.
We'll see.
And make for the way down.
Alright, you step into the elevator. This one has a calming music. There are no buttons on the inside. It is just blank white. Stark contrast to the blackness of your ascent. This one is calm and slow and unjarring. And the rest of you are still investigating this elevator shaft, thinking about blowing it up, shooting fire up and down it, like climbing it. You have no idea what's going on. And you hear a soft boom. And one of the elevators that you checked before that led to nothing will creak open, and out will step Phalos.
I'll pull my gun and point at Phalos. Right, are you a ghost?
I don't think so.
Right, hey. Poke him.
What happened?
Don't talk to the ghost.
I walk up to Phalos, and I just, poke him with the end of my
Lol,
sniper
though.
rifle.
Coat him
don't
with the barrel
entertain
of your
him.
sniper rifle. Like, is you real?
Here's the biggest stick I got here.
Push right. Are you satisfied that I am physical being?
Bonk, bonk. It's him.
The sharp click of metal against the barrel of your gun. Ah, yep.
Ask him if he got a dick.
We don't know if the right answer is with that one. We don't know.
We're basically
Right,
playing.
exactly.
We're basically playing Schrodinger's dick here.
If he answers, then we know it isn't him.
Ah! He gave it away.
This subject again, this is not the time to be asking questions. There is
Alright, this...
Right, it's him. It's him. It's him.
Yep, okay.
We should definitely be leaving this building.
Right, mate. I said not to
Okay.
come in the first place. What happened with your little spooky elevator ride?
Walk and talk, I suppose.
The guardsmen are already leaving.
Uh,
They were like, yeah, let's get out of here. Like, yep, let's go.
Yep.
Time to leave.
What are the
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah.
They have not survived this long without a very innate survival instinct.
Sure.
Okay then.
Now,
So,
how much of that? Because you said I didn't quite remember.
You
how I
don't
got
remember
there.
how you got to that floor, so you don't remember the elevator ride.
Okay.
It's basically you stepped into the elevator, saw the guy, and then you were at the...
Okay.
So, like, time is basically... There's no, like, stretch of time that you experienced.
Gotcha. But I do remember the scene
Yes.
that unfolded in that conversation. Okay.
just
Actually-
understand, he came out of a complete different elevator.
You
right?
wouldn't remember the conversation with the
Oh.
being.
Just the scene.
You would remember the scene, and you would remember everything sort of decaying and turning to dust. But you wouldn't remember what the creature looked like, or its words.
Oh, good. Those are the things I
It would
wanted
have
most
left-
to be able to tell people about.
Yeah, it would have left an imprint, but change is a subtle process.
I don't care for that. Yeah, so let's just be walking towards that obsidian gate. No need to worry about what just happened there.
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
mate, you're not going to explain what happened?
It's Phalos will answer questions if you have them. I'm
So-
just ready to move on.
How did you get to one elevator and then to another one?
Right, mate, that elevator didn't even work. There wasn't even a fucking elevator in there. Well, there was an elevator, but it had a fucking body. And, like, it was still there after you got in it. So where'd you go?
Well, I surmise that it went up. I do not recall the elevator moving. I was just on a different floor.
Right, well, what was on the floor?
Well, it was the command center of or a command center.
Right, and you find anything? Anything for us to be in this spooky ass building?
Itself not a spooky building. It has become spooky. It was just center spire of potential hive. It is very plausible explanation for building being there. That being said, there were many ghosts.
Building's haunted. Inquisitor said it. Let's leave.
Right,
We
mate,
should be
on with
going
you.
far
Chambers
away.
lighting another low stick out of stress. Walking faster down the road. Don't fuck with ghosts. Nope.
No,
Right.
it was not so much one ghost as an entire place of that was all a ghost.
Even worse, Inquisitor. Even worse.
It was not a good thing to have been seeing. I do not care for this place.
Right, well, like I said, should never come here. Let's go get this bloke, blow his legs off, and get off this fucking planet.
I still don't think blowing off his legs is the best first course of action.
Right, well, when you got another plan, let me know.
I brought up several, but you keep talking and reverting back to blowing off limbs.
Oh, I
In
just don't.
fairness to Barbosa, things without legs move much slower.
Right, see, Tech Priest, he's smart. He's on my side.
It is true. Like taking out the legs, pretty good idea.
Some things have wings.
Then
If
we
this
shoot-
Tech Priest has wings, I'm done.
if it has wings, if it has wings, we shoot the wings. Problem solved.
He's a Biologos. You don't know what the fuck he's got packing under that.
There's a good point.
Whatever its primary mode of transportation is, take that out.
Teleportation.
Motherfucker.
He's
Well,
instilled himself in a suit of Terminator armor.
Much like several other instances we found ourselves in.
We're fucked if that's the case. I'm gonna be honest.
That's a
guys.
great idea, actually. I'm gonna use that in the
Oh.
future.
At that case, I throw the vest at him, and then run away, and then hit the button.
All right.
Got a dead man switch for that thing?
Yeah. So, Phalos, you sort of portray what you saw: the officer, the execution, the summary suicide, and so on and so forth. Correct?
Yeah. I'm not gonna necessarily be like, and all these machines were interesting because. But
Oh, you're not gonna tell them that you think that that's the power control center for the pylon?
I mean, what good would it do them doing
Exactly.
that? It
What
doesn't-
good? What good would it do?
What
And the fall to chaos begins!
No.
It had
Hey,
to be.
I'm 3 more corrupt than I was this morning, so take that as you will.
That's what happens when you brush shoulders with the warp. All right.
Rush shoulders. He just got a hand job from the warp.
Yeah. You're fucked. No, you're fine. So you guys continue through the city. The guardsmen are pleased. They were like, "Yep, we are happy to be out of here." We have about 40 minutes left, so we're gonna go on one last quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll wrap up what we got going on for the night. Stay tuned. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We'll be right back.
Wait.
Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Dark Heresy, Whispers of the Eye. My name is Dylan. I'm going to be the Game Master. We are joined by Phalos, Lothos, Modis, and Barbosa. They have just left the main spine of the Rune City. Phalos, having met an unfortunate incident in an elevator that didn't technically exist, went to a time that had already happened and saw things that may or may not have transpired. The rest of the party, having not entered the spooky elevator, were safe and tried to save their companion before he arrived in a completely different elevator and told them basically nothing about what had happened, wanting instead to, forgetting some parts of it and wanting other parts to be his own little secret for now. The warband,
Ghosts. What more did they want to know?
the pylon control.
Yeah, why would they care?
Why would we want a killer field that can resist the forces of chaos on a fucking chaos planet that's been assaulted by warp storms
No,
for
man.
1500
It's not working.
years?
Why would the Inquisition care? You know who might care? Mars. And who really deserves it?
But Mars.
Mars.
And there's
Surely
already
up to
technically a tech priest here that's powerful. So if he's still with Mars, it's for Mars.
First come, first Mars.
The point being, we're gonna see if this planet exists before I make a call.
That's valid.
Mars.
Then I'm
as
gonna
well.
have to decide if I've got to.
You might just orbitally bombard this rock into space dust. It'll take a few days.
That means we gotta steal a card from it first.
It does mean I'm filing away that knowledge for if we have to go and shut down the other Geller field.
Who knows?
Because now maybe I know how to do it.
Maybe
Or
you
at
do.
least where to look.
Maybe you do.
Don't worry about it. I learned my lesson well from Scotty. You don't tell him how hard the job's going to be. You keep this knowledge in case it makes you look like a miracle worker later.
Alright. You guys arrive finally at the base of the spire. The Black Gate. The Obsidian Gate, excuse me. This isn't Lord of the fucking Rings. It is
Next
not
crossover.
stark like this and barren. It is grassy and the jungle. There is actually a courtyard and garden built up around it is very ornate. It is, of course, overgrown and gone to shit in the millennia. But as you approach, you notice that the grass has been cut. The trees within the fence are pruned. And there seems to be something standing what looks to be up the walkway. And you're still some ways away. You have turned basically and gone onto a street in this cluster of the city. It is so dense, even with the millennia, that most of the vegetation has not been able to grow up and push through the foundations. This is more the center of the city. It is the most stable and suffered the least amount of damage.
I am looking through I'm doing this little thing where you flip it out from beneath you and my gun's coming up and I'm looking at this figure down the way with my scope.
Mm-hmm.
Very odd.
And if it's wearing red, I'm shooting it.
So, from your scope, you see a large garden, a small contingent of uniformed, armed people, and
Like people or
people.
People.
You also
like elves
see
and orcs and
five
mutants and shit, or
no, people, like
Far.
normal-looking people. You also see
Suspicious.
4 combat servitors.
What kind of insignia are they wearing, if any? Or uniform, or...
Give me a scrutiny check, plus 30.
And I got scrutiny. Plus 30. And I'm going to use a fate point. Fuck it. 40. Oh!
You look over them. The men have no insignia visible. They're wearing what looks to be... It looks like not armor. They're armed with rudimentary swords, shields, axes. They do have bionic
no guns.
limbs and implants. Some of them have guns.
Okay.
Not all of them, but they do look clean. They look like clean, hair's kept. Some of them have visible bionics. With your optics, you can see this. They also look to see like they have these heavy hoods that they're wearing, with these sort of maroon, almost brown, red robes, in that they would most likely cover most of their
Like
features.
the color of dried blood, basically.
Pretty much. It's when you're looking at the servitors, you're scanning over them in the face, and you notice that the flesh of one on the forehead is still there as part of the servitor, and you notice the brand of the Inquisition.
Right. Mates, them blokes over there might just be Inquisition.
Wait, what?
Right, yeah. Look through your scope. You see that servitor there on the left? Look at his forehead.
Locos,
shit.
as you zero in, you see the crowd of warriors, the combat servitors, and then he points out the one. It's not even in full insignia. It's just basically a chunk of it that would extend from here up, but it's enough that there's no other contour of lines that is anything
Yeah,
else.
and that's from the servitor, right?
Yes. The men have no insignia.
Could that be... Okay, so that could be one of two things. It could be a part of the Inquisition. It could also be that that guy has turned Inquisitors that came here into, is golems.
Right, but ain't we supposed to be the first people here in, like, 14,000 years?
Well,
It's been
Question
quarantined since the storms have been around it for 13, and then basically as soon as it came out of the warp, Gilliman commanded it be quarantined and watched over by the Space Wolves.
the only problem is, I would say with this, question is how many breadcrumbs this guy left.
Does Phalos have a glitch when he hears breadcrumbs? Like,
A little bit. It's like a trigger word. You hear a bird call, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Because there's no sound of animals, and you're like looking around, but no one else seems to have noticed it.
Right, so are we gonna kill these blokes from here? Or are we gonna try and talk to them and then kill them?
Looks over at Modeus. You said you wanted to talk, right?
I said, should we entertain the idea of talking?
Right, we'll get to talk to them. I'm gonna stay right here.
Then I'll stay
I
right
got
here
your
as
back.
well. Yep.
Overwatch, mate.
And if anything bad happens, we'll make sure you die fast.
What's your misery? Don't worry.
Don't worry. We'll
I'll
leave,
take good care of these photo lenses too.
we'll leave nothing for detectives to use against us. Hands him the vest of explosives. Put this on underneath.
Right, yeah. Here. If everything goes shorty, right, you just click this button, they all gonna go away. You too. Well,
One
them
way
too.
or another.
Right. Right.
Right.
So,
That's how we're all gonna die one day, guys.
I just get drunk and like, I don't remember where this doors. Bah!
Fucking blows up.
You
the
can't get drunk
entire
anymore.
fucking-
I have resistance. I'm not invulnerable to it. I just have to drink more.
Does that do anything for you? Not anymore.
Logic.
yeah, I'm not just gonna walk up there by myself, guys. Just a heads up.
Right, Phalos, go with him.
You're a tech priest. They'll
Right,
like
you got all that metal, right? They got swords and shit. They're gonna bounce right off of you.
The combat servitors have guns.
Right, don't worry about them. I'll got that. They start doing anything funny, me and Lothos got you.
Let's be very honest here. All right, what is our intent? Knowing what
intent's
we
to
know
kill
now.
him, but your intent's to talk.
Should
Our
we
mission.
presume?
Our mission is to capture the Biologos.
Correct. And we've no sight of that.
Well, them blokes probably working for them, don't they? I ain't seen nobody else out here's got any
Presumably,
technology.
I'm just making sure that it's not
Unless there's another.
present at the time. How many are out there?
How many are out there?
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 soldiers and 4 combat servitors.
Should we?
And how far away are we currently?
Yes.
Because I want to be 500 meters away, because I can shoot effectively 500
Why
meters
not?
away. That way I can just pick them all off if they try to come running at me.
Why not? Sure. No, you guys are 600 meters away.
Perfect. Still
Phalos,
effective
your
range.
thoughts? Should we stay out here and let these two pick off the herd as we try and gain our way in? Or should we work our way up?
Or we approach hoping they will not attack on sight, or we approach hoping we can get past them without being seen.
It doesn't look like, you know, they can kill you instantly. For the most part, you could probably go up there and chat with them. You could take
Boy,
probably-
just be nice now, Metal Man.
Now you could take like Chambers or
At the
someone with
moment,
you.
I could probably.
No, don't take
So-
Chambers. I like Chambers.
Munitions wise, and you would see this through the scope, the combat servitors have an implemented chainsword and implemented heavy stubber.
Oh, fuck.
They are like PDF grade combat servitors. They're not like a jury rigged piece of shit.
That is.
Hey, your chance for a heavy weapon has finally come.
So
Yeah.
whereabouts would one control a servitor from?
It depends. They're not.
They're mostly autonomous, right? You kind of just program them to do
They
whatever.
can be commanded directly through verbal commands as well, or control pads, or anything that really makes sense. Remote, verbal command. They could have just been set on a program that told them to patrol. They could be being verbally commanded by the guards or the soldiers or whatever these fuckers are. Unsure.
So then,
About my odds of, you know,
do you want the
taking control of some servitors.
So do you want the good news or the bad news? At the moment, right now, it looks like if we open up fire, besides them running back inside, we can probably take them out and not have to worry about any losses or casualties on our side. Though, as he starts looking around the tower upwards, I'm not so sure if they have anybody that can start shooting at us at this range as well. So I'm just looking around for any decent sniping positions on the spire that could be aiming at us from there.
It's a sheer blank face.
Sheer blank face, nothing or anything.
Looks like glass.
Is
There's
there anywhere for? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Is there anywhere for me to get like a vantage point, like a higher ground or anything?
You can
like
find a building and grapple up into a little alcove, yeah.
that? Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm not going up to them one way or the other.
With
so
your
I'm
with
going
your
up there.
range, like I'm telling you no. Like you're never gonna be in close combat if in an open battlefield.
So here's the problem. If you guys do actually go over there and decide to talk, even if we do bring everyone with you, they have the armaments to tear you to shreds if they really wanted to.
Chambers
Just for
hold
those-
or Chambers and Stock will hold up grenades.
What, mate? They got heavy stubbers. They got 4 heavy
They
stubbers.
got 4 heavy stuffers. Now, if you're able to just get up behind those things and chuck them at those, could work. But that's a big but.
Behind what?
Well,
I can't see what you're talking about.
I'm no good from out here.
Oi, Metal Man, what? Could you talk to them other Metal Man? The dumb Metal Man and get them to do what you want? You're muted, Mike. You're muted, Metal Man. Your vocal cords don't work no more.
Genuinely not muted though.
There we go.
There you know.
Lighting up and
Yep.
everything.
There you are.
It was just a delay, it seems, from when I unmuted. I can talk to them as well as you can, unless I find out how they are being controlled. I do not have a way of just overriding commands. If they are just programmed, they would have to be reprogrammed. Otherwise, if they are being controlled directly.
Right, mate. Well, you know me. I'm all for the killing. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna have you back, though.
I can move up a little bit more, but I'm better at the range. I'm not willing to get too close.
Well, I'm willing to sneak my way up, get close, and see if we can overhear or listen to anything. And have a sign to let them just start raining bullets.
I don't know what we'll be overhearing, but it is possible if we can learn from these soldiers that it would make sense. I I am not opposed to plan of having snipers eliminate all threats and then walking up to tower. None of them seem to be biologous.
Correct.
It's not a bad idea, it's just... If that's what's in the front yard, the question is what's in the spire. So,
It's not a small spire either. It's a very large building.
yeah.
Perhaps if we can at least eliminate this force, if there are more servitors inside, perhaps
So-
we can find controls.
Phalos, where do you shoot a servitor to get the most optimal damage to it? I'm assuming, like, the head or the chest, most likely.
That's what I'm assuming, but
Yeah.
I don't
that's
know
what
if,
you
like,
assume.
I don't know if the head is really useful. One.
Phalos, give me a... It would be a lore, but you have access to all lores, correct?
I have one tick in all common
Yeah.
lores.
Adeptus Mechanic. You would know that servitors, normal servitors, serve a myriad of purposes, and are in a plethora of different types of construction and durability and things such of that nature. These combat servitors, as you're looking at them as well with your telescopic mechadendrite, it's heavy plating. Like, these are not like normal servitors that have been modified. Like, these are fresh out of Mars fucking combat servitors, up to date, well kept, like oiled, blessed, lubed up. Like, they are not like scraps of junk rolling around.
Yeah, they are not going to be easy to eliminate regardless of where you are shooting. They are prepared for battle. They will take several hits.
Wanna bet? We could try that.
Well, looking at the armaments of our guardsmen, we have, if I'm correct, barrel with a chainsword and a stub revolver.
He has an auto or a stub automatic.
Stub automatic. We have stock with, if I'm correct, a shotgun, and chambers with a flamer and a knife.
Yeah,
And each one of them have 2 grenades besides stock.
that's one.
Who has 1. So
Then we got my vest.
Stock will speak up, begging your pardon, my lords. We're not really suited for a long-range engagement.
That's what the looking
Even
at right now.
even if my lords take out a few of them, if they retreat inside, we're at a war of attrition at that point.
And I doubt with how much munitions we have, we'll be able to win that.
Right, what if you lot was to sneak around behind them, cut them off from getting back to the spire,
Well,
and then just hold them there while me and Lothos here just fucking plink them off from behind?
begging my lord's pardon, I think we have 2 options. 1, rush them.
With surprise.
Fast, hard. See if we can punch through and sow some sort of confusion. Maybe if we're amongst them, the servitors won't fire in on us. 2, we all walk up in a semblance of parley, assuming they don't shoot us outright. And if they do try something shady, if they don't know what a flamer is, they will find out.
We do have a flamer.
Do you have a flamer?
That way, if we're close enough, we're also in range to use the grenades. There's enough cover with those walls. We can try and get out of the way, but in all fairness, we're guardsmen. This is what we do.
I'm
It's
gonna
up to you, my
sigh.
lords.
I'm gonna sigh and rappel back down from my little nook and be like,
Right, so guess we gotta go fucking get shot at.
Let's attempt this parlay, and if all else fails,
Who knows? Maybe the Emperor's looking out for us and they're not even fucking working with the. Maybe there's two red wizards and they don't like each other.
You guys are approaching. Just.
I fucking guess.
All right.
I guess so.
As you
I'm gonna,
guys break up and move to the next intersection, you hear a low 3-tone whistle from one of the tall spires, and it's repeated down towards the spire. It is then repeated back. You hear it traveling a noise from point to point through the city. You will see through your scopes and optics and mechadendrites now that the soldiers in front stop being clumped up and line the pathway in a sort of at ready, at arms, not in a confrontational way, more in a presentative way.
So I'm gonna obviously notice that somehow they saw that we were coming. So I'm gonna be looking around trying to see if I can find whatever it was that noticed us.
Awareness.
Plus minus anything?
Minus 20.
I shouldn't have said anything. Shit, that's a really low. Ah, well, I'm not gonna re-roll it. Fuck it.
No.
Fuck it up. It's almost the end of the session. I
you-
got 4 fate points still. I'm gonna re-roll it.
Okay.
Might as well.
Yeah, fuck it. Exactly.
Come on. Yeah, nope.
worse.
No, you assume that you had spotters. Like, there's a lot of windows, a lot of buildings, a lot of hiding places. So it's natural to assume they had some sort of spotter or scout out in the city. But without, that's more or less unavoidable unless you guys were, coming in under the cover of night and crawling through the debris and shit like that. Like,
And even with that, guy could have had fucking super eyes or some bullshit like that.
Thermoscope or...
They
Fucking-
knew we were coming probably since we've been back at the spire there.
Probably.
Right, well, let's make a good show of it then, and I'm gonna kind of straighten out my shit and flip my duster off of my pistol so they can see all my shiny guns and everything like that, and kind of stand in the middle and start strutting forward and walk up towards these fuckers.
I guess this is how it's going to be.
all right.
Start locking up.
As you guys make the approach, the combat servitors have also repositioned and are similarly lining the pathway. Everyone give me an awareness check.
Not asking anything. Yeah! There's what I was looking for.
Alright.
Awareness. Oh damn! I can re-roll awareness.
Barbosa,
Minus 10.
Lothos.
Yeah, that's better.
That's a fail.
You failed, Phalos?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so Modius, Lothos, and Barbosa. You notice, almost imperceivable...
Keen intuition.
That's a good one. That is one of my favorites. You guys notice a number of things happening. One, there are several specks that emanate out of the top of the tower, little dots. And Phalos, upon closer inspection with your mechadendrite, you see that they are servo skulls. And they scatter to the winds. They don't circle or anything, they go out. You also see a door appear, because there was no door. It was just a blank face. These steps led up to a wall, basically. You see all of you see a thin line appear in it. And then emblazoned across it, the symbol of the Aquila. As you all approach, the guards are unmoving. Some of them will eye you or look shifty. They're clean and they're nice, but they don't look quite right. They have signs of a lot of cranial surgery and altercation. Some of them look like they have had bionically introduced muscle tissue or attempts at organ reconstruction, things like that. A lot of this is hidden from a distance, but as you get up close, you see the surgical scarring of these serfs, basically. And as you enter, or as you approach the steps, the doors open silently. There's no rasping, there's no depressurization. It is silent as they slide open. And standing before you is this guy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it looks like that's flamers on the sides, fellas.
Guys, that's a lot of bits and chunks.
He is large. He is about 9 feet tall. Large, ropey cables and sinews exploding out from these red robes. He also extends. He's not just a standing figure. There is a trail of his robes, and you see what looks to be moving pincers and mechadendrites and coils trailing behind him. Whether it is some part that is being not utilized at the moment, or some sort of sensor, or something else, you are unsure. But the way he moves, he undulates, almost like a caterpillar or a snake. And he quickly sort of comes down at a frightening pace down the stairs like, "Hello! Welcome. I have been expecting you. You killed my servant. Very good.
Right. Technically, it wasn't us.
Very good.
That's-
He told me he was a spy. For Chaos! Chaos on my planet! Come in, come in. Come with me. Come with me.
Barbosa's gonna look. Right?
Okay, then. Out of character, I love this man, and I will not let any of you hurt him. He is precious.
As I walk by Barbosa, I'll be like, right, shooting wouldn't have been the right call here.
Way too many bits. Way too many bits.
Way
You
too
say
many.
that now, Spaz. I see a heretic who's gonna die anyway with a lot
Hey,
of valuable
I'm
parts.
just saying this. I'm just saying this.
This is
Best
one bad
guy.
mamma jamma.
Best guy ever.
As you enter, I assume,
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of like
the guardsmen
look
are
back and forth
equally
and-
the guardsmen are equally confused. They're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
You're going, like, I guess, okay. Just kind of shrug my shoulders and follow and be like, right.
Hurry!
I just look back at like stock and just like, don't do it. Don't.
They'll not. We'll wait
Put the
out.
grenade down.
We'll wait out here.
Okay.
Right, yeah, if we're not out in, like, fuck knows how long, come fucking, I'm gonna take off my explosive, no, I'm not, I'm keeping that thing on me just in case.
Yeah, don't take that off.
I might just bear hug this guy and go, beep!
It wouldn't do shit, I
Right,
bet.
if you're not out in a day, we'll probably die. But
Right. Listen. If we're not
We'll
here
all be
today,
dead.
you go, you find that communication center that Space Marine bloke went to. You try and radio on that. The quiz didn't know what happened. That we found him and where it is. Give him the coordinates and all that shit. And tell him to fucking bomb this place.
understood. I'll give you a salute. Actually, all three of them. Best of luck inside, my lords.
Right.
Throne protect you.
Right.
As you're having this conversation, saying your goodbye, there is a sudden, and the doors just close in mid-conversation with these guys. And you'll turn and see the Magos. That was boring! Look at that! It'll point to what looks to be a large sort of carnivore's skull that has been hooked up to cables and mechanical spooling and tubes of fluids, and it seems conscious and is moving around. Seemingly able to control itself, and to look at you all and just roar. And this sort of Vox projected roar, he's like, "Look at that!"
Right, mate, are we supposed to kill that? Is that some kind of a test?
No! That's Jeffrey. Come with me.
Hello, Jeffrey. Nice to meet you.
Jeffrey doesn't care.
Oh.
Come with me. It's about time the Inquisition got here. Been here forever. Stuck here by that throne curse. Marius. God damn it. you'll see him undulate up the stairs, and there's cherubs floating around him. Fuck off! I figured out how to make them constantly. I've perfected a press, and it just doesn't stop making them. Shit!
Okay, let's just.
I'm gonna look at Phalos and see how Phalos is responding to this character. Right, the Megos is on Mars like this guy.
This man is definitely eccentric. Anyway,
For some reason, I didn't expect him to have so much personality.
Anyway, why are you here?
Right. Well, long story. So, you remember?
I don't have time! Look at this! And he'll slam down on a button, and the black paneling of the wall will open, and you will see one of the most horrifying amalgamations of flesh you have ever witnessed in your life. Muscle plied upon muscle upon bone. There are colors and facets of animal and machine, or not machine, animal and people, of their skin patched and sewn and fused together. There are multiple organs. There are multiple eyes, but it still retains a human feature. It's about 8 feet tall, broad, bio-enhanced muscles and cranial implants. And he'll sort of slam his axe down for, I made a space marine! And that's where we're going to end our session.
What do we do, guys? What do we fucking do?
I'm so glad we didn't just start shooting them.
Oh my fuck! I feel like if we even fought through all
I
those
don't even
guys,
think he would have cared if we killed all of them. He'd
He'd
be like,
be like,
"Oh, make more!"
that was fun.
That's actually exactly. He would have actually come out mid-combat and be like, what the fuck is going on? Stop it!
Oh my god. Oh.
So,
What have you done to my Lazarus?
it's been a long time. It's been a long time in space.
And did I hear you say Varys too?
Ate a space marine. Space marine.
But my first question
That's
is, right, you think I could kill that bloke in the city?
Well, everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of Whispers of the Eye. I hope you've enjoyed the show.
That's great.
We certainly have. It's been a hell of a night. I hope you guys join us next week. Usually we start at 6:30 Pacific time. Hopefully that's when we'll start next week. Be sure to join us then to see what the hell is going on. Until then, I've been Dylan. This has been Dark Heresy, Whispers of the Eye. Hope to see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.